Oh, they have double audio too, my bad. Oh, fudge. It's okay. Yeah! Wait, audio. Yeah!
Yeah!
We should be okay now. Hey guys, how do you guys hear? Do we sound okay? Do we sound clear? Is the music too loud? Yeah! I mean,
Yippee!
BGM's wild. Oh, fudge.
Why do you keep getting closer to your camera and like...
What am I?
You are! You're like, wait, if you lean forward, you're like, try leaning forward and backwards. You see? You see? Why do you have it on? Turn it off!
Wait, I can turn it off? It's always been that way.
Yeah, turn it off!
What do you mean turn it off? I don't know how to turn that off! What the heck?
Okay. Hold up. Go to settings. Go to settings.
But me go to settings.
Yeah, you go to
I'm in
settings.
settings.
And do you see the camera?
Yes.
Next to the camera,
Yes.
with the press on the guy with the cogwheel, and then scroll down. Do you have movement config on?
Wait, where's the guy?
She's gone.
Movement config.
Moving
It's under customized model.
under customized. Okay, we'll find it in just a second. Yes. I do not see it anywhere.
Okay, do you see customized model?
Sorry, I do not. I'm on the
Wait,
camera.
are no, you're supposed to press on the man with the cogwheel next to the camera.
Next to the camera. I'm a bad. Okay, movement config. What do I do here?
Turn it off.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Why are you so small?
Awesome. Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened.
Tiny.
Oh, because I was scrolling. That's why. There you go.
Now you wouldn't have that issue anymore.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're right. Oh, sweet. Oh, slay. Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, BGM's almost inaudible and my volume is low. Oh, my bad. Maybe. Oh yeah, now I'm, don't worry about it, guys. Give me a second. I apologize for the scuff. There we go.
It's okay, Meeta.
Thank you, Aki. Alright, I think we should be good now. Alright, guys. It is time. It is so time. Let's see. How's everything now? Does everything sound good? Yeah, everything sounds good now? Yeah. Great. Okay. So, sorry, that's a little bit of a rough start, but that's okay. I tried vertical streaming a little bit. It didn't quite work, but that's okay. I guess I should introduce myself and then everybody else. Yeah. Welcome to my stream. I'm Meeta Osita, V&U's one and only bewitching witch. I'm the proud owner of Meeta Osita's Witch Star, and today I have two lovely girlies and me. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Yeah.
Wait, who goes first?
Who goes first? Hello.
Okay, I can go first. I am D.K Graves. I'm the Skull Corps commander of V&U Gen 4. I am Meeta Senpai's Kohai. Hello.
And would you like to introduce yourself, lovely lady?
Okay. I rehearsed this. Hold on. Okay. My name's Aki, or Mojika. I stream on Twitch. Not YouTube, unfortunately. And I don't belong to any place, so I'm just gonna list some of my favorite games. I like Yakuza, Ace Attorney, Ghost Trick, Zero Escape, AI The Somnium Files, or any game that Uchikoshi makes, basically. And yeah, I like puzzles a lot, so I also like Professor Layton. Well,
Yay!
Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm so excited, and it's our official first what's it called? Collab. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the word. It's our first official collab. I'm really excited. My mouse disappeared. I'm trying to.
Also, Meeta Senpai, apparently we're a bit loud compared to you.
Oh yeah, my mouse disappeared. I'm trying to turn it down. Like it's gone. My cursor just is gone.
your cursor?
It's just gone. What do? I can't click anything. What do I do? My cursor just disappeared. I can't share my screen because I don't know where my cursor is.
Oh man.
Fudge. What? Oh, I see. Oh, fudge. No, my bad. Oh, fudge. Oh, fudge. Oh, no.
No.
What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put down your volume here on Discord. There we go. Oh, I'm so smart. I'm literally so smart. Let's see. Alright, how's the audio now? Testing.
Yes. Hello.
Is the audio good now for the girlies or still a little bit too loud? I want it to be perfect so this presentation is uninterrupted.
Also, we're covering some of the text for your information.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can just read it.
Okay, I'll do like this. Like this.
It's fine. We're too small now. We're too small. It's fine.
Should I do like, okay.
Meeta, you're disappearing!
Don't
Meeta!
worry about me. We're learning the magical world. There we go.
So small.
Oh. Oh wait, why am I quiet? Is that better? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I think we should be good now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, dear Aki, for the wait. I'm so ready to learn about Claude. Claude is a very... Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't look him up until I made the thumbnail, and I was like, oh! He's very handsome. My brain thought he was gonna be like blonde hair. He might, I don't know, wear some like knight armor or something. It's like
Bro, that's Dimitri. That's Dimitri from
that?
Fire Emblem.
That's the other guy.
Oh, okay, I don't play Fire Emblem, so that's what my brain thought. It's so funny.
You're like, whoa!
Yeah,
but
when I saw
he
him, I
looks
was
very
like, oh,
attractive,
my.
doesn't he? He look, yeah.
Very handsome. So I'm so excited to learn today, Aki.
Yay!
Yay!
Alright.
Do I just start?
Yeah, dozo.
Dozo.
I feel like I'm in school. Okay, disclaimer, there might be some mistakes because I didn't double check. And there's a lot of spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into too much of the plot though. I'm just gonna be talking about him like separately as a character. Because there's too much plot, first of all. And second of all, I played it 4 years ago, and I have the memory span of half a day, so I don't really remember anything.
That's me, for real. It's perfect.
You're like a little goldfish. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Glop, 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 glop.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just Claude 101. And then my first slide. It's, hold on.
Handsome.
Anyways,
Ooh.
so
Ooh.
who is he? He's the heir to House Regan. I almost always say Reagan by accident because of Mob Psycho. But he's the heir to House Regan and the Lester... Anyways, Lester Lyons. And he's the grandson of the leader through his mother, Tiana. And he was discovered as the heir in 1179 before enrolling into the academy in 1180. So just a brief summary. Three Houses takes place in a school, kind of. And there's 3 houses, which is why it's called 3 Houses. And Claude is the leader of Golden Deer, which is 1 house. And Dimitri, who we mentioned earlier, is the leader of Blue Lions. And there's Edelgard, who's the leader of Black Eagles. So there are these 3 houses in the main game. There's another one, but it wasn't added until later. So I'm just going to talk about the main 3. And yeah, they're like separate groups. They go to classes together as a group, stuff like that. And the main character is called Violet. And Violet was basically... They met, the 3 of them, outside, and they're like, "Help! We're being chased by thieves! They're trying to rob us!" And Violet is a mercenary, so Violet and their dad are like, "We will help you because you guys look rich, and I think you're from that school." So then they help them. And afterwards, Rhea, who's kind of the principal, I guess you could say, of the school, and she's like the center of this church system that the school is built on. She's like, Violet, you should come teach here, even though Violet's like only a few years older than them. She's like, you should teach them because you're a mercenary and you have life experience. And Violet's like, okay, I guess. So Violet starts teaching there, and that's kind of the main plot of it. You're like this person that teaches all these other people. And then, yes, so he's the leader of Golden Deer, and they're basically kind of considered like the group of misfits, like nobody really belongs in there. And he is half Foldland and half Almiran, so the story takes place in Foldland. It's like where they're all from. But there's another country called Almyra, which is where Claude is from, but nobody knows this, even though it's very obvious he's from Almyra. It's like an ongoing joke. They're like, oh, Claude is just different, but I don't know why. They're like, I wonder where he's from. He's a bit suspicious. So Claude's like, what, me? No, I'm from here. And everyone's like, okay, I guess. So, but yeah, he's half Almiran because Foldland like doesn't really like Almyra. Almyra doesn't really like Foldland, and they have like a long feud. So that's why he's like, yeah, I'm Foldland person. Don't worry about it. And then yeah, so his real name is Khalid, but he changed it to Claude because he's like, Khalid, I'm gonna pass as Foldland fully. So my name is Claude.
DJ Khalid?
DJ Khalid. Yes.
Wait, I have a question, Sensei.
Yes,
so, is Khalid like a very Almiran name? Is that why he changed his name?
Yes. He's like, oh, this is too obvious, so he changed his name. And then everyone's like, yes, you are fully Foldland.
And then one more question. So you said that he is the heir. He's the grandson of the leader. Is it kind of like a royal position? Is he a prince, you would say, or not quite?
Yeah. So in House Reagan, he's a duke, but in Almyra, he would be considered the prince. Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh my god! And yeah, so he was born from true love, which is a big thing about him, because his mom Tiana is from Foldland, and she's the granddaughter of the leader, right? But then she fell in love with the Almiran king, and she's like, "You're so handsome, I love you." But they're not allowed to be together because Foldland and Almyra are like, "Arr!" So then
And that's why. That's why he wants. That's why he wants to end racism.
Yes, basically. And then she was like, I'm going to run away with this guy. So then she eloped with the king, and she lives in Almyra. And then they had Claude.
She's so real for that. Wow.
She's so real for that. It's like this whole thing that they really, really loved each other. They emphasize it a lot. So he's born from like true love. And if you talk to NPCs in the game, like they talk about it. They're like, I heard this story about like a Foldland noble running away with like the Almiran king, blah blah blah, because they loved each other so much. And yeah, so his dream is to unite all of Foldland, because when he was born in Almyra, everyone was like, you're not really Almiran, kind of thing, because they hate each other, right?
All right.
So, they're like, oh, yucky! And even though he's like nobility, it didn't really protect him from anything because everyone hated him. They're like, yuck! And then, even that when he was a kid, like people would try to assassinate him. And stuff like that.
Shit!
Yeah. So as a kid, that's why he's really street smart. Because he learned how to like protect himself, and he knows how to like get around. He's really charismatic. It helps him get out of like a lot of situations. It's because everyone was out to get him, so he's like, I gotta protect myself. Yeah, and he talks about how he would like sleep with like a knife and stuff, and then he also experimented with poisons because people would try to assassinate him. So it's kind of like implied he does a lot of poison experimentation because of that. And then that's why he kind of left Almyra at some point, and he went to Foldland because he's like, maybe, I don't know, he went there, but then Foldland was like, we hate you!
Oh my
That's
He
crazy.
was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that people from Foldland hated people from Elmira. And then he's like, wait a second, no matter where I go, they hate me.
Stop!
Yeah, so it's a very interesting point because he was born from two people that loved each other so much. But then growing up, he experienced so much hate. It's a very interesting part of him. And yes, he doesn't let that get him down. He's like, you know what? When I grow up, I'm gonna make sure no kid goes through what I went through. So his dream is to unite all of Foldland. He wants to cross boundaries and borders. And he's like, we should all trade with each other. Like, we can do trade, we can become allies, blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't be judged based on our status and where we're from. Yeah.
That's very interesting because there's like clearly there's like duality between like two cultures when it comes to him because he's like half Olden and half American. So like I feel like this kind of fits into like maybe like, you know, Asian Americans a bit because like they're born in America.
Yes,
but
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when I was a kid, I was like tried so hard to be American. I was like, I don't want to eat all this Asian food and stuff. But then I grew up and I was like, actually Asian food kind of rocks.
Yeah, honestly I was the same. Like sometimes when I brought like food that my mom made, people would be like, I'm like, okay, I'll just bring sandwich next time, bro.
Yeah, I remember I was like, Mom, can I get those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? But yeah, it's very interesting you brought that up. That is true.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yes. Another thing he questions a lot is he questions institutions, which a lot of the students at Foldland don't dare to because they were raised with that mindset. Like they were raised to be like, oh, the nobility system is correct, like the crest system is correct, the church is correct, and they don't really question anything. But he's like not from there. So he's like, that's weird because in Elmira and other countries, they treasure like nature more, you know, over like a god or like a goddess. And like there's so many different customs and cultures, which he has experienced. So he goes to Foldland and he's like, why do they only like believe in this one thing? So he questions it a lot, which nobody else really does.
Right, that's really cool. It really shows how like intelligent he is, and he's able to look at all sides before, you know. That's good. I like people who question things. It makes me, you know, think deeper about things.
It's kind of funny because I've heard people call him a himbo.
It's so untrue. Okay, he's like mischaracterized because he's really funny. So that kind of becomes his only trait where they're like, he's the funny guy, you know? And they're like, oh, and sometimes people think like funny equals stupid. So they're like, oh, he's like a little stupid. But he's not though. Like they advertise him as like the super smart guy. He's like, oh, he's playing 4D chess. So
oh my gosh. Wow. And the thing is, like, after everything you said, I would have so gone through my villain arc. There's no way I would have been so kind after that. I would have been like, everybody perishes. Nobody.
Oh, Spectre is in chat. Spectre is in chat. Oh.
In fairness,
kill everyone.
Did he ever do anything super smart? I'm a hater. Oh.
Man. Man. I have a heckler. It's okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, fun fact. He has a wyvern. Very cute.
Oh, wyvern?
And, yes, he has like a wyvern. It's very, very cute. So people have headcanons that like he had a wyvern in Elmira too, like a little one. So there's a lot of fan art of him and like a baby wyvern. It's so cute.
Oh, I have a question. So a wyvern is one of those like flying thingies, right? It looks
looks like a dragon. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, just wanted to drop that first because I like wyverns and I really liked playing Three Hopes because you get to fly around on his wyvern.
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. That was like me most of the game. I was like, oh my god, we actually get to fly.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Yes, He has a really pretty one. It's like the wyvern's white and has red eyes. It's so cute.
Ooh.
Okay, next one.
Ooh.
Included some fan art, so I also left the credit on the side.
Ooh.
Because we credit artists.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, amazing. That's so beautiful.
So, character traits on the surface level, he's very easygoing. He's secretive. When Violet first meets him, one of the things they say is like, oh, his smile doesn't really reach his eyes. So like he kind of just smiles to smile. He's
like
not
fake
actually,
smiling.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
fake
gosh.
smiles. He's faking it. No, but he teases people a lot, and he comes off overconfident, nonchalant, like funny, sarcastic. He's a little flirty sometimes, and he's very lazy and casual.
Oh,
She's
my.
fangirling. She's fangirling.
My bad.
It's okay, it's okay. And then beneath the surface, also, disclaimer, Spectra is kind of right. The writing was really bad.
No.
So they didn't exactly showcase the things that they listed him as. But they would, but then like even support characters would get more like background and lore than he really did. So a lot of the stuff I'm getting is like from his support conversations or like just by talking to him. Because they never really show like, oh, what was he like in Elmira and stuff like that. It's more like told to you rather than shown. They don't really write it out. Yeah, they're like, oh, he's super like tactician, but then they don't really show it in Three Houses. They kind of showed in Three Hopes for a bit, but then the writing goes downhill again, so not really. But
I mean,
yeah.
do they show it in his broom? Because I feel like I've heard that people said that he's a bit weak in the other roads, like
I
Lions.
understand how people
Yeah.
don't like him when they play other routes because they're like, what is he even doing? In his route, it does show, but they show more of like, oh, this is how he really is, instead of like, oh, this is what he does, or this is his backstory. They don't really talk about it. Yeah, what is he doing?
What is he doing?
Because he's like, I'm gonna do this, but then you're like, but how? And then they're like, just kidding. Anyways, so yeah, just a disclaimer. A lot of this is like, I kind of piece it together from like other stuff. But beneath the surface, he's pragmatic, which is very interesting because he's a pragmatic person, but he also has really idealistic views. So for example, his dream's like a really big dream, right? He's like, oh, I want everyone to be equal. Like, I want us all to get along. But if we have to be real, it's like that's kind of, it's really hard to do, right? But he's a pragmatic person. So I think those go hand in hand really interestingly. He's more like, if he knows he won't win a battle, like he won't go for it. If he knows for certain, like he's gonna lose. As opposed to like Dimitri or Edelgard, they might still go for it. But if he's like, I don't see a way out of this, so I'm gonna retreat. That's very much what he's like. And he's very astute and observant. And you can tell in his support conversations with his house members because he notices really small things about them. And it changes the way he treats them. I'll talk about it more later, but a prime example is Lysithia. She's in his house, and she's younger than all of them, but she has a condition that's explained in a game where her lifespan is like really drastically shortened. So it causes her to grow up really fast because she's like, I have to do all these things. And she's also really talented, so she has a lot of responsibility. And Claude actually met with her father at some point, and her father was like, my one worry is that Lysithia grows up too fast because she doesn't have like a lot of time. So Claude took that to heart, and that's why he like kind of treats her like a kid throughout the game. He'll be like, oh, I heard there's a scary ghost in the library. Like he'll tease her and stuff like that, and she gets really upset over it because she's like, I'm not a kid, even though she is. And then you find out it's because he doesn't want her to grow up fast. So he wants to remind her that like, hey, you're still young, you know, like you can be a kid sometimes, it's okay. So he's very observant in that way, and he's also very cunning and strategic, which they did not showcase that much in Three Houses, unfortunately. But he strategizes a lot. He's always thinking up of a plan, and it's probably because of his upbringing, where he's always like, I have to think of a way to get out of this situation, kind of thing. So he's always thinking like backup. It's like I do that, but it's because I'm paranoid. Like I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, where's the exit? I need an exit plan. But he does it just naturally, and he's very mindful and he's empathetic, and they show that in Three Hopes too. But I'll talk about that later. Where he really feels for people. Even in his route, like when Dimitri and Edelgard, because they go to war later on, basically.
Oh yeah, they do.
And he's still like, but I still like Dimitri and Edelgard, and he tries to like, he's like Dimitri, please. Because he actually gets along really well with Dimitri, like he likes talking to him and stuff like that. And he also like really likes Edelgard, so. He's just like, I like everyone. Why is this happening? Yeah.
Why can't we just get along, guys?
Why can't we all just hold hands? Yeah. Oh, I think you got a raid, by the way.
Aki fish raid! Fishy! Hi, Fishy!
Yay.
Hi! Hello, thank you so much for the raid! Right, today, I have DK and Aki's teaching us the wonderful world of Claude from Emblem. Oh wait, I don't have you modded. What? Come here.
I'm gonna mod you. You better not.
I got you.
Come here,
I
baby
got
girl.
2 Aki.
There you go. Oh, Fudge, where did it go? Fudge, where did it go? Oh, there you go. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh, guys, would you like to introduce yourself? Yeah.
My name is D.K Graves. I am the Skull Corpus Commander of Gem 4. I am Meeta Senpai's Kohai. Yay! Pachi.
Yay! I'm Aki, or Mochika, and I like puzzle games, and Yakuza, and Ace Attorney, and Zero Escape, AI Insomnium Files, Uchikoshi Games, Ghost Trick, blah blah blah, Professor Layton, yes!
Yay! Pachi.
And I'm Meeta Osita, but only by which we've ever had on the race since we started today. Yes, I'm having so much fun about Claude.
Hey, bars!
Heck yeah!
Bye!
I'm so excited about Claude. I have so much energy now. I'm thinking about like fan art and stuff already. I don't even play this game yet, and I'm already thinking about, oh, maybe we should draw this.
I know!
Yeah! Thank you so much again for the raid.
Yay! Oh my gosh, we're both Akis. That's so epic.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right. My brain's in her brain. Oh my god, Aki, this is Aki.
Hello, Aki.
Oh my gosh. But yes, please continue. Whoa.
Okay. Where was I? He's empathetic. Like I said, he cares about the people in his house, even though if you don't play his route, they kind of don't bond. I'll explain it more later, but his house members don't really feel connected to him. But it's because it's kind of his own fault because he doesn't really connect with people. He's distrustful, so that's why. But if you play his route, it's like this whole arc where they all become friends, and then he kind of learns that hey, you know what? People rely on me. We should rely on each other. It's this whole thing. Anyways, and yeah, so he's very knowledgeable. So everyone's like, oh, he's so lazy. He doesn't pay attention in class and stuff, right? Because he comes off that way.
Right.
But he will pull all-nighters in the library just reading about the history of the land or the history of his land. He just really likes learning things. So that's why he knows so much. But nobody really gets that because he's like, whatever.
No!
Yeah, he's very cynical of war, and he doesn't like the nature of those in power. He's like, they're very self-serving, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go to the next slide. Do you have any questions?
I have a real quick question. It's regarding the fan art. Obviously, we probably will touch something later on, or something later we don't. Is there a reason why he has a lily in that fan art?
Interesting.
That's a good question.
I know that sometimes it symbolizes stuff, but I don't know what Lily symbolizes. Like, I hope it doesn't mean death. I hope he doesn't die later on or something.
Lily symbolize.
Lily
Let's see what it
symbolism.
says. What is the symbolism? Purity, innocence, and rebirth.
Oh! Damn, that hits. That hits
Oh,
hard.
it also symbolizes hope.
I'm feeling very emotional. We're 2 slides in, and I'm feeling so like I will protect Claude until I die. I'm scared what else
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
learn.
true. He's very hopeful. That's one thing that I love so much about him, because it's like the way he grew up, you know? I would have been like, I hate everyone! But he's still like, you know what? I'm hopeful. Like, maybe we can change this. So,
My heart, oh my heart. Okay, I'm scared. Wait, no, we're only 2 slides in. I'm gonna cry. I'm scared.
Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid.
I know, I just took psychic damage.
Oh no.
Next slide.
Whoa.
So, the game director, Toshiyuki Kusakihara, stated in an interview that they drew inspiration from Rajendra from Arslan Senki. I thought it's pronounced Rahendra, but then I listened to the dub just to make sure, and it's Rajendra. So, okay. I hope I got it right. And he's also based off of Yang Wen Li from Legend of Galactic Heroes, who is also a tactician. So, ooh.
That's so cool. Yeah, isn't
Yes.
the hero Legend of Arslan, isn't that the creator of like Full Metal Alchemist? as
Yes,
well?
yes. Full Metal Alchemist is so good!
Oh,
I
no,
was like Silver
alchemist.
Spoon. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah.
So good. But yes, and well, he appears later, but Nadir is kind of like his mentor. But it was intended that Nadir was supposed to be like, hey, his real name is actually Khalid, but it was scrapped like many other things.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we got nothing! we only learned it was his real name because the writers were like, oh, by the way.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes, yes.
Whoa.
And then character design. Now, I went to art school, which means I have basic character design knowledge.
Ooh.
So this is like basic character design 101. Recognizable silhouette. Just by looking at him, you can tell there's a lot of... His hair is kind of crazy, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
detail on the top. And there's a really, really good asymmetry with the little cape off his shoulder and then the braid on the other side. And the way that he stands too really emphasizes this. And then the bottom half, he wears baggy pants. He has this like flowing clothing. So we can tell just from the silhouette that this guy is probably kind of like wild because of his hair. He's very energetic, maybe. Like, you know, you get that kind of feeling.
Right.
But he wears really loose clothing, so it's like, oh, maybe he's easygoing, you know? He wears baggy
Oh,
pants.
that's interesting.
Everyone else in the game kind of has like tighter clothes on. But he's very flowy. It's like, hey, maybe he's an easy guy, right?
Right. Oh, so everything's like very intentional, the design. That's so...
Yes, yes.
That's so nice.
I like character design, so I'm like, ah!
I love it. Wow.
The silhouette!
Oh, my
Yeah.
silhouette is like a tree shape because of my dress and my sleeves. And my hair is long. It's so funny.
It's okay, Rita. We would recognize your silhouette anywhere.
Yeah, with your
Oh,
big ass
shucks.
hat, with your big ass fucking head, bro, and your fucking banana shoes, bro.
Banana shoes!
Hey, cut the cameras. Hey, I'm cutting out the pod.
Edit this out.
But yeah, I definitely love his hair a lot. It's very ooh la la.
I love his hair. The little braid is so genius.
It's so cute.
Yes, it's so...
Wow.
I love it. And I really, really like characters in general that use bow and arrow, so I'm like,
I
yeah!
was gonna say, oh, so he's an archer. Is that what it's called,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Ah,
yes.
Mm-mm.
And he's like on the slimmer side. and he kind of likes coming off as like weak. He's like, oh, I'm so weak, I can't do anything. But then in the game, he'll like launch himself 50 feet onto a wyvern, and you're like, what the?
Whoa!
And then he'll do a backflip and then shoot someone like upside down, and you're like, hello?
I feel like he's such a troll.
I feel like he would be. Oh my gosh.
He's like, I can't do anything. But then in the fight, he'll be like, okay, now my wyvern will spin upside down, and I'll do a backflip 3 times just for fun. You're like, you didn't have to do that. You could just shoot them.
He's
So extra.
Yeah.
I love it.
And his voice actor, my beloved Joe Zieja, who is also a voice actor in Genshin Impact, he did a whole video where he learned like the stunts that Claude does. It's very cool. He does like all his little backflips and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
who's the
who
voice
does
actor
he
again?
voice act? Yeah.
Joe Zieja, so Joe, and then Zieja.
I haven't heard
And
of
he
that.
voices someone in Genshin who I really like because they have the same voice actor, but I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna try.
Okay, let me look up the characters
I only got
that
to
he.
Marius. I haven't gotten far.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
truly
let's see.
believe he made up so much of Claude's character with the voice acting. So good.
Definitely.
It's like Ryan Besley or something. Ryo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ryan,
yeah,
the
the
fox
cheetah
boy,
and the
the wolf boy,
Yes.
the wolf boy.
I was like, Claude voice.
Wow. Good job,
Oh.
Joe.
Good job, Joe. Yeah, he got in. But yes, character design. I will elaborate more past the silhouettes, but I love silhouettes. Someone once told me too. It's like the way you dress. They're like, oh, how do you dress so well? Like, how do you look so fashionable? And the person said the most important thing is the silhouette. And I was like, oh, that changed my life. So whenever I wear clothes now, I look at the silhouette first. I'm like, does this look good?
Oh,
But yeah.
cool. To keep in mind.
Yes, it also helps balance out your outfit. Fun fashion facts.
I'm gonna start sending pictures of my outfits. And I'm like, Aki, does this look okay? Please help me.
I'll help you. Yes, okay. Basic analysis. His charm point, the braid, the hair, the earring.
So handsome, Mama. Oh.
Oh god, calm down, Meeta, calm down.
Hey, I'm admiring his character design.
Alright.
Respectfully, yes.
Respectfully, yes.
So, let's look at the design closer. He has a yellow undershirt, right? And you can kind of see it, but not really. So it seems to be open, but it's still closed off. It's part of his character. He seems to be a really open guy. He's always like, oh, I'm an open book. Like, you can just tell what kind of person I am. Because everyone's like, oh, you're so lazy. And he's like, haha, true. But then he's not.
Oh my god, that's so
No.
cool.
He's seemingly like an open person, but very closed off, actually.
I can fix him.
And I can fix him! The cape on his shoulder is shorter than the other two lords. So you're like, oh, why does he have the shortest cape, right? Is it just fun? Is it because it's easier for him since he uses bow and arrow? But the way I interpret it is that it's because he has the least amount of attachment and loyalty to the nobility system. So that's why I feel like his cape is shorter than the other two, who are heavily based in like their nobility, stuff like that.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait,
Actually.
Meeta senpai. Look at what I sent. Look at what I sent in the group chat.
Oh wait. Oh god, I have to hide the screen. Oh fudge. Okay, 1 second. Let me see. What did you send?
Oh?
Continue! Hey! Whatever. Whoa. You're right, but like. Anyways.
She just went through like 10 emotions.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's a girl's secret. Only girls can know. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. guys.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No boys. Oh yes, because sorry, it's so funny. Yes. So what else? Whoa.
Oh, yes. So he doesn't like showing things that tell who he is, which is why you're like, don't talk to me. If you ask him a question, or like, hey, why do you do this? He'll like ask you a question back. He's like, why do you do that? Kind of thing.
Oh
he
my
like
gosh,
avoids
he dodges
questions.
it! Oh
Yeah, he dodges it, kind of thing. Or he'll like
I
play
fucking
it off
hate
as
when
a
people
joke.
do that. I fucking hate when people do that. I ain't gonna lie. Just answer the goddamn question, bro.
Just answer me,
please!
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people don't like him, because they're like, what do you mean? But yeah, so they're like, oh, he's just a suspicious guy. What the heck? But yeah, so he also has a really good balance of sharp shapes and points, but then really rounded areas, like his pants, right? They're really puffy.
Right.
His shoes are also kind of round. But then he has sharper points. Also shows like his character off. I don't know. I just love character design, man. And yeah, so it shows he like appears very lazy and casual, but he's very astute. And that's the contrast between the round shapes and the sharp shapes and stuff like that. And interesting trivia about the earring on the left ear. It's not really related to him, but I thought it was kind of cool. But it's like a Chinese belief, but it tends to symbolize that a person's life has been endangered and is used to protect against bad luck and recurrence. And that shows up in another part of his design later. That's more to his culture. But I thought that was really interesting because I'm like, wait, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my throat. Oh my god, that's crazy!
That's very interesting. I didn't think of that.
Whoa!
Yish. I love character design.
Oh my gosh! That's so crazy to me! Oh my gosh! And I wanted to point this out. I'm really impressed with how you're able to really deep dive into the character design in general, because like for me, someone who's just looking at him, I feel like, oh yeah, he looks pretty relaxed, cool kid, you know, whatever. But
Cool kid,
you're able,
whatever.
you're
He's
able to see
chill.
a lot. Yeah, the symbolism and you know, the deeper meaning. It's so cool to see. I'm so excited to learn more. Holy cow!
Yes.
Character
Character design is my passion.
Holy cow! Whoa.
Next page. So the color yellow is just
favorite
basic
color.
stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Aww. It's such a nice color. So the basic like symbolism of yellow captures attention. It's very bright. So that's his personality and appearance. Obviously, he stands out a lot amongst his peers, and everyone's like, something about him's different, but I don't know what. He also has a really outgoing personality. He's really charismatic. Yellow's also like optimism, which is very him, because like everyone tries to kill him. He's like, it's okay, guys. He's like, I can do
Oh
this.
my god.
He's very creative. Also symbolizes happiness, courage, intellect, warmth, and confidence, which is something he exudes a lot. Because if you think about it, if he doesn't exude confidence, like what would happen to him, right? It's like I always have to come off confident to people. Because if I show that I'm unconfident or vulnerable, that's how people are going to treat me. That's very much like the mindset that he has.
Oh my god.
Is that why he
And
fakes smiles too, maybe?
Yeah, it also
Like, it's part of it.
lets people kind of underestimate him because they're like, oh, he's so overconfident, even though like he doesn't do anything, kind of thing. But then beneath the surface, he'll like study the hardest or like try to think of all the ways he can help his house. But then on the outside, he's like, And the yellow also represents caution, which he's a really cautious person. He doesn't get close to anyone. He plays his cards really tight to his chest. And paired with black, it's like really like the caution tape, right? They use yellow and black. And yellow's also a reflective value, so he acts as a secondary light source, which kind of makes him different from Edelgard and Dimitri because they're very, not like personality bright, but like bright people as in they're leaders, right? But if you play his route, he kind of acts like a secondary light source to the people around him. So Byleth, for example, if you play his route, makes him stronger, or like the people around him make him stronger. So there's a lot of just like reflection. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I love character design.
It's so fun. Oh my gosh.
Yer.
Yeah.
for his designs. This is him in 3 hopes, and I love this design.
Oh my god, look at him.
I think the purple and yellow is so good together.
Oh.
Oh, that's his wyvern! So cute.
Wait,
oh, wait, it has yellow.
where are his sideburns? Did they remove his sideburns? Hello?
Yes.
They actually removed his sideburns?
He doesn't have sideburns if he doesn't meet Violet.
Oh wait, mama.
So,
Oh wait.
To explain to Meeta and people who don't know, the game is 3 houses, but there's another game they released called 3 Hopes. It's like a different combat style, but it's a game where it's like, what if they never met Violet? Like, what if they met someone else? So it's like a different timeline kind of thing. So all their designs are different in it. And I love this design because it looks very wyvern-like and it matches his wyvern. And I love his wyvern! I think it's so cute.
Thank god they removed his ugly ass sideburns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Very, very handsome. Oh my.
Yes. And I love it when they incorporate like Elmyran stuff onto his design.
So cool. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yes, a lot of people had differing opinions on the gameplay of 3 Hopes because it's very different gameplay. But I liked it because you get to fly on the wyvern.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I feel like IRL he would be a dog person for sure. Maybe maybe a dog. Maybe another pet. What would you think?
He has a dragon still.
So maybe. Oh,
He just shows up with one.
oh my god, I'd be mortified.
He's like, he don't bite.
Yeah, he do! Ah!
Yeah, he do! Yeah, just showing off more of his design. I love it, the little sash and everything.
I like his eyebrow. Oh my! In the upper right screenshot right there, his eyebrow is
Yeah.
Dude, I love thick eyebrows. I love thick eyebrows so
Yes.
No,
much.
I love his design.
Oh my! I love.
Makes
his
me
green
really
eyes.
sad.
What?
Makes me really sad because my eyebrows are like thin. Super thin.
They are?
Yeah.
Yeah, get thicker eyebrows, SMH. Couldn't be me.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's literally just lines. My eyebrows are just lines, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Maybe Dr. Grapes has thick eyebrows.
Dr. Green.
You see on Sunday. I mean, what? I mean, what?
Spoiler?
Sunday?
Spoiler?
Sunday?
Sunday? Spoiler?
Wow.
This used to be my wallpaper. I love it so much.
Oh, it's so good. I love the
nice.
the watercoloring vibes, you know?
Yes, it used to be my wallpaper. I was like, it's so pretty. And I love his dragon, wyvern.
So cool.
Yish, yish.
Oh,
So,
trivia time.
Some trivia.
Ah,
Trivia
excited.
time! Claude is a French name derived from the Roman Emperor Claudius.
Claudius.
And his name could be a reference to King Claudius from Hamlet, because Golden Deer as a house has a lot of like connection to a Shakespearean play called King Lear. So they're like, maybe his name is from Hamlet in reference to King Claudius. But it could also be a reference to Claudio Ranieri, who was the manager of Leicester City. So Leicester is a real place, they just took the name.
Okay.
And Khalid is a popular Arabic name given it means eternal, endless, or immortal. And Regan is derived from Reagan, which is ancient Gaelic, and it means little king. Sorry, psychic damage. Little king. But it's also the name of King Lear's second daughter from a Shakespeare play.
Oh! Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Oh wow! They put a lot of thought into his name too. Holy Little King! They did it! How would they do this? Oh my goodness!
How do they do this? But yes, I love that art so much.
It's so nice. Can you send it to me if you still have it by chance?
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
to put it on my yes, please. I want it on my phone wallpaper.
Yes, ma'am.
Bro, Meeta Senpai has this thing where she just draws herself with like male characters that she likes.
Hey! And what about it? And what about it? Hey!
She's gonna do it with Claude.
Meeta, do you wanna see? This is a drawing of me and Claude.
I do! Wait, pause. Everybody in chat, pause for 2 seconds. Wait,
Cut
I
the
gotta
cameras.
see this. Cut the cameras. Y'all stay right
Okay.
there. I need to see this. I need to see this.
I'll show you. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
It's on my
I am an
computer.
appreciator of Clyde. I'm not saying I'm not a simp. I'm not a simp, okay? I'm just an
You're sure about
appreciator. Hey, I'm cutting this part of the VOD.
Cut the cams.
Cut the cams. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
shoot.
Oh
Hold
my
on. I'll get it from my Twitter. It's not here because my PC.
Not a simp, yes, we believe
is
you.
new.
Hey, Theodore, hey, hear me out. Theo, hey, listen. I ain't a simp. Okay? That's it all. Hey.
You're such a sim.
Hey. Not me. I am. I'm an artist, actually. So I like to view from all angles and perspectives. Yes, and I like to, yeah.
I'm gonna shove you inside of a locker, nerd. Give me a lunch
So
money.
cute!
Thank you.
God! Wait, did you draw this?
No.
No, she commissioned it. It says
I
thank you for the
commissioned
commission
it,
at the bottom.
Sorry, I'm illiterate. Wow! That's so cute. Wait,
It's okay.
I can calm people to draw me with characters I like?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Characters you like.
I didn't think about this.
Yes.
Well, just so you guys know, I might have to cut some corners with money this month or next month as well. So don't blame me. We might be playing Minecraft for a while, boys. No new games. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh,
You
people that
created
are
a
not
monster,
here-
Aki. You created a monster, Aki.
The people that are not here are like, why is she playing Minecraft so much?
I just happen to be in the Minecraft group. Don't worry about it. I have
Don't
the
worry
whole
about
folder
it.
of fan art now. Oh my gosh.
I'll send it to you. Look, that's him with his wyvern.
Oh, that's so cute. Wait, is his wyvern usually that small, or is it the picture where he gets big or something?
Oh, yeah, it's just a headcanon because he has this personal wyvern. It's different from all the wyverns in the game. So people are headcanoning, oh, maybe he grew up with it kind of thing. Yeah, so cute. So more trivia. His pre-time skip design is based off of the Persian Archaemenid archers. I hope I said that right. Archaemenid archers. So there's yellow, and the singular earring, and the composite bow. And post-time skip design is based off of the Kontush sash. It's a band worn around the waist. It originates in Persia. And the end of his sash has a garland of Turkish, I think it's called puskul. I asked my friend who's Turkish, but I probably said it wrong. And it's supposed to ward off bad luck, which is also what his earring kind of symbolizes in the thing I talked about earlier.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so he has his own a corpse kind of he leads this little battalion, and they're called the Immortal Corps. It's his personal battalion, and it references the Persian immortals. There's a lot of connection between things about him in the game and the Persian culture, Turkish culture, stuff like that. Oh, I'm so sorry, my dog is barking.
You're so good.
I hear her.
Your dog is excited too. Yeah.
My dog's like, yes! So he practices an Elmiran ritual that you find out from one of his supports. Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher it. It's Chahar Shambe Suri.
Oh.
It's a Scarlet Wednesday, so it's a Zoroastrian fire festival originating in ancient Persia. And they sing and dance around a fire and stuff like that.
Whoa.
Claude also meditates every morning, but when he told someone that, they were like, yeah, right, because they don't believe he's
No.
Oh no, nobody takes him seriously.
Tell me who said
No.
that.
No, I can't snitch.
I swear to God. Ain't no way
Yeah,
he
he's
did
like, and he says it really casually, so they're like, yeah, right. So he's like, yeah, I wake up really early to meditate and stuff, and they're like, yeah, okay, sure. And then he's like, whatever. But he doesn't take it to heart because he's like, ha ha ha. True, I am such a funny person. And he also, very interesting, and it's probably due to his personality, he has the most support of students outside of his house. He gets along with like people. It's very easy for him to. So he can have the most supports with people outside of his house even. Yay! We love an outgoing person.
He's popular, huh?
Yeah. And he also, fun fact, has the most skill proficiencies in the game. So he can have 6. So this guy is very capable. It's just that everyone doesn't think he is. Because he's like, I will pretend I'm not.
My baby. My baby. Wait, I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So, does this technically take place in like a school setting? Like, how old are everybody? Like, what's the age?
At this point, like I don't remember. Because it's like an age range. Like the oldest person there is like 24, I think. And then the youngest is like 14, 15, I think.
So
it's like
how
an
old?
age range, yeah.
Okay.
I believe Byleth, the main character, is like in their 20s, I think. And then Claude says like, oh, you're only a few years older than us. So I think it's like that. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you talk to like a 14-year-old, and then you find out like someone else is like 24. You're like, wait.
Gotcha.
Like her?
Yeah.
Next one. This was taken from someone's blog because I don't know. I don't have the time to get these images myself. So his combat instructor, Nadir, that I talked about earlier, has a Farsi and Arabic name and wears a choka. And it's a casual wear for nobility. And just some fun facts. Barbarossa is what his class is called. So it's like the archer on the wyvern is the Barbarossa class. And it's a reference to Hayreddin Barbarossa, the pirate king, a Turkish admiral who was born in Lesbos and retired in Istanbul.
Oh, pirate! I like pirates.
Oh. We know you do. We know you do.
And then, that's the sideburn DK was talking about.
Fuck the sideburns! I hate it! I hate it!
It's kind of sexy, okay?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But Meeta, you're also like old men.
Hey! Cut the bot! What
about it?
Hey! Well, anyways,
It's okay. Modula's like 60 now, okay?
No!
like old men.
He's retired!
No! I refuse.
He needs to retire,
DK,
Jesus!
you like old men. Modula's 60.
No! He needs to retire! Retire him, for real!
No!
Someone said like, it's gonna be like Yakuza 10 and they're gonna like bring Majima back. He's like 80.
Oh my god.
No! It's okay. Majima is very hot, so he will age
Yeah,
well.
he's very hot.
Yes,
Also, he doesn't look
boys
60.
age well.
He doesn't look
He
60, so
doesn't.
it's okay.
I see. Okay, so he's like, where was I? He's based off of Archemenid Archer, right? And the younger man retained a ponytail and light side whiskers, and older men sported well-trimmed mustaches and beards. And he also has the earring that they would wear. And they're portrayed through ancient art, notably with the color yellow. Very interesting. Yes. Poofy pants is like perhaps Persian tunic, or long tunic. That's his post-time skip. This is just a lot of extra info. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, walk us through it. I'm curious.
So coats of gold braid across the chest, buttons covered in gold or silver were also worn. He has the traits of his design from a Persian high officer. A lot of gold, tassels, but he has a more European twist on the design, which makes sense because he's also from Foldwin. So it's like a little mix. That's his Turkish school. It wards off bad luck. It's given by the mother usually, but his mom is from Foldland, so we are not sure about that.
Right.
Maybe the dad gave it to him. He has the Persian cavalry pants with light armor, so it's easier for him to move because he's like a dexterity unit. He moves a lot. The Turkish boots, and he also has a Kurdish headband. This is like a new game plus design you can get for him. A lot of cool stuff that goes into his design. This is his brother, half-brother.
What the heck?
Oh, it looks like a goddamn frog. I'm sorry.
He looks, oh, okay.
Oh, I can see that he's evil.
Oh, his lips. What is going on there? That's not his color.
That's not his color.
Go back!
Okay.
So, this is Shahid, and he only appears in 3 hopes, so he's not in the main game. But Shahid is his whiny half-brother. He's very much like, if I lead an army and conquer this land, then Daddy will make me king. That's the kind of person he is.
Annoying as bitch.
He's embarrassing me, please.
He's like, my father will speak to you if you disrespect me.
Oh my god,
My dad
Draco
will make me
Malfoy
king.
vibes.
Stop! No
Yeah,
way!
like, don't bully me. My dad will speak to you.
Daddy, yeah. My daddy. Oh, it's Fire Emblem.
I'm next in line to be king. That's very him.
Oh
so,
god.
he's very whiny, and he hates Claude. So,
But why?
because Claude's half Lynn.
Oh, he's
true,
racist.
Elmyrin.
Oh, he's racist. No.
I should be king, not you. Yeah. So, he hates Claude, but then Claude left, so he's like, yes. But then he meets Claude in 3 hopes before the time skip, and he's like, he doesn't recognize him. He's like, you remind me of my brother, and I hate my brother, so I hate you. And it's like, bro forgot what he looked like. And it's probably because he grew up, so he's like, But also, I feel like you would recognize him.
You remind me of my brother. I wonder why.
And he's like, I hate you. You remind me of someone I hate. And he's like, okay. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, and
dude.
Claude meets him, and Claude knows right away it's Shahid, but Claude's very much like, okay. Shahid's like, I hate you. Claude's like, oh,
He's
yeah.
like, yeah, whoever that guy is. Yeah, definitely not him.
He's like, yeah, sure. And everyone's like, Claude, why does this guy know you? And Claude's like, I don't know.
God is so funny, please.
Yeah, it's like an ongoing joke. Like, it's so obvious he's half Elmyrin. But everyone's like, why do you know this guy? And Claude's like, don't worry about it. And they're like, oh, okay.
Stop. I love everybody's just like, okay in this game. Like, alright, that's cool.
Yeah, they're like, sure. It's really funny. I'll talk about it later, but like the 2 himbos in the game are the only people that realize he's Elmyrin.
What the heck?
No way.
Yeah. I'll show it later, but like everyone else is like, no, it couldn't be.
This is so funny. Oh my god.
Shahid wants to destroy Lester, which is the alliance that Claude is a part of and the leader of. And he's like, I'm gonna be king! And then he loses. And Claude is like, bye! And Shahid's like, I'm gonna come back, and when I do, I will kill you! Claude's like, okay.
Oh
And then
god.
he flies away. And everyone's like, Claude, are you sure you should have let him go? Claude's like, yeah, it's fine. And
He's
he says
winning.
it's because he's like, oh, it's because he's like royalty, so it'll be trouble if we kill him, and then like they'll have beef with us. But I feel like this is backed up later on by his reaction too. But I think it's because he still has a soft spot for his relative. So he was like, I don't want to kill you. So Shahid flies away, and Claude's just like, oh well, I guess he'll come back someday.
That's
Bro,
me.
he's winning the... He's winning the I don't give a fuck worse.
He really is.
For real.
So then Shahid comes back after the time skip. He's like, I am back to kill you, and this time I have a bigger army. And then Claude's like, oh great. So then they fight each other again. And Nadir, who I'll show later, Claude's mentor, is part of the army. But then Claude's like, hey, Nadir. Nadir's like, what's up, little guy? And then Nadir joins your team because he's like, I love Claude. So he joins your team instead. So Shahid loses his general. So
Oh,
Shahid
no.
is like,
Awkward.
and then he loses, obviously.
Right.
And in the end, Claude has him cornered. And Claude is like, hey, listen, Shahid. I really don't want to kill you. Can we just like move past this? And Shahid's like, no, I'd rather die than take the L to you. Because he kind of realizes Claude's the brother, I think. I played it 1 year ago, which means I forgot everything. So he's like, I'd rather die than lose to you. I hate you. And Claude's like, but I really don't want to kill you. So Claude hesitates, and Joe Zieja does such a good job here with the voice acting because Claude's voice like cracks a little bit. And he's like, please, like, I don't want to do this. Like, please. He calls him brother. And then Shez, who's the main character of Three Hopes, is like, hey Claude, if you don't want to kill him, like, I'll do it for you.
Oh my god.
Claude's like, no, it's okay. I have to do it. But then Claude hesitates to kill him, and in the moment of hesitation, Shahid throws a knife at him, which Shez like blocks off, and that kind of like makes Claude realize if I don't kill him, like nothing's gonna come out of this. He's just gonna keep coming back, and he wants to kill me. So it's like it's you or me kind of thing, right? So Claude brings himself to shoot his brother, and he says, I'm so sorry, brother. I didn't want things to end up this way. And he sounds really heartbroken over it, so he ends up killing Shahid. And then you're like, no! That's kind of, yeah, that's like the turning point for him in Three Hopes. Because in Three Houses, he's very optimistic. And then in Three Hopes, his perspective kind of changes after this. So like he's like, and it really affected him, but he doesn't really show it. Because then after the fight, Nadir's like, we won! Everyone's like, yay! And then they throw a huge party to celebrate and stuff. And Claude is like, yay, party! But then he goes missing like halfway through the party. And then everyone's like, where'd he go? Like he's the one that wanted the party. So the main character, Shez, is like, I'm gonna go look for him. So Shez goes to look for him. And he's standing by himself. And then Shez is like, hey, what's up? Like, was the party too much for you? And Claude's like, oh, yeah, maybe. And Shez is like, oh, it's probably because you drank so much. And he's like, haha, yeah. That's probably it. No! Yeah! And Shez is like, hey, was he... So Shez kind of figures it out too. Shez is like, was that guy your... And Claude like stops them. Claude's like, no, forget about it. Like, let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And Shez is like,
oh my god!
Yeah, Shez is like, I'm sorry. I just thought maybe if like I didn't kill him, he would kill you. And he's like, no, I get it. It was my burden to carry, kind of thing. And then he drops this line where he says, I thought a guy like me would be impervious to this kind of thing. Looks like I don't know myself as well as I thought. So, a lot of his optimism and like idealism dies here in Three Hopes. So it changes the plot a little bit from Three Houses. Yes.
I need water. I'm getting dizzy.
I'm getting dizzy. I'm gonna sip my coffee. Yeah, the voice acting's so good.
Oh my god. That's so depressing. Claude. Claude. I'm like tearing up. This is actually sad.
I know.
This is so sad.
The emotions are getting to her.
Ricochet! Here, let's cover his mouth so I don't look his ugly lips anymore. Ricochet! I swear to God!
Yeah, he's very, something.
Fudge! That's so sad. My heart is like pounding. Oh my god, it's so sad.
No, Meeta.
It's so sad because like I think I hold like a lot of characters dear to my heart when they're like happy, inside, sad. But then like this being the turning point really, oh my god, because I'm also like a big family person as well, so I can like understand. Yeah, so I can really feel his pain. I don't know what. Wait, I never killed my sibling before, but like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Really wild.
Yeah, and like I said, he doesn't show it because he's like, oh, I wouldn't feel sad. Like, he can't help it but be like empathetic to people. Like even his brother, who hated him his entire life, like tried to kill him like 50 times. He's like, I really don't want to kill you though. Like I wish we could just get along.
Oh, Claude.
I have so much emotion. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I'm gonna switch to the next slide so we don't have to look at him.
Yeah, I spit on him. Whoa,
So this is Judith.
wow.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
Hello, Mama.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my, who is she?
So Judith is a badass. She's the hero of Daphne. She's from House Daphne. And she's a leading commander of the Western Alliance. And she's known Claude since he was like a little boy. Because she was very close friends with Claude's mom, Tiana. So she calls Claude boy, like affectionately. She's like, hey boy, come here boy, quiet boy.
Kind of like God of War. Hey, boy.
Hey boy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. And she calls Lawrence, who is another noble from House Gloucester. She calls him Gloucester Boy. Oh no! I accidentally added the thing from Shahid's slide. It's okay, we'll ignore it. Anyways, she's the second daughter of House Regan and very distant cousin of Claude. So Claude cares for her a lot. Like he cares for Nadir, who is in the next slide. But yeah, not a lot is known about Judith. But we could piece together that they're just close. And she treasures Claude because she's like, that's my best friend's son.
So
and
it's
Claude
very-
treasures her.
Oh, like an aunt figure almost.
Yes.
She's a baddie. She's a baddie.
She
She's
is!
single.
She's a baddie!
So cool.
Yes, next person. This is Nadir.
Ooh.
He is Claude's kind of like mentor figure. And a lot of this is theory. I don't personally believe it. But a lot of people think that he's Claude's dad. But I'm like, I don't think so. So we know canonly that he's the King of Almyra's retainer and also Claude's mentor. So he taught Claude how to fight and stuff like that. But many people are like, I feel like Nadir is Claude's father. And this theory comes from, he one time calls Claude like kid, but then he corrects himself. But it's also like, like a mentor figure calling someone kid. Yeah, like how Judith calls him boy and kiddo. So then Claude says his father was a chieftain, and we learned that Nadir is the general who was besieging Fodlan Locket. So everyone's like, oh, maybe that means he's his father? But I don't know. I don't really think they are. I think just a mentor figure kind of thing. Another instance is he talks to Edelgard in the Black Eagles route. And he tells Edelgard, he's like, oh, I'm so surprised to see like the Emperor of Terrestria, which is Edelgard, like fighting on the front lines. And Edelgard's like, well, I heard that the King of Almyra also fights on the front lines. And Nadir's like, yes, he does. So everyone's like, oh, maybe Nadir's the dad. But I personally do not believe that. Yeah, just some food for thought.
He's a mentor.
Yes. He's the guy that like ditches Shahid mid-battle. He sees Claude and he's like, hey kiddo! And Claude's like, oh my god, Nadir! They're like on the battlefield.
That's so funny.
Nadir's like, what are you up to? And Claude's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just fighting Shahid, I guess. And Nadir's like, okay, I'll join you. You're like, okay. So he leaves Shahid. And yes, we get to use him in 3 hopes. Alright, next one. Lawrence, that's Lawrence. I just wanted to include his face.
Because the
expression is so funny.
No, don't be mean to Lawrence. Lawrence is the goat. He's the goat, bro. He's the goat.
This is the guy that Judith calls Gloucester Boy because he's from House Gloucester. But this is a thing where Nadir joins them, right? And Lawrence is like, in his Lawrence voice, he's like, it is difficult to fathom the circumstances that would lead someone in Fodlan to make the acquaintance of an Almyran general. So he's like, that is quite suspicious, Claude. You have a lot to explain. And He's like, why are you so friendly with this Almiran? And then Claude was like, let's just say he looked after me a bit when I was a kid. And then Lawrence is like, that is highly suspicious, but I will ignore it for now.
That's funny. I guess I'm staring at his face. Sorry. Yeah.
I know. I wanted to include it. So I was like, he's like staring him down.
I hate
Why do you know this guy?
I think Lorenz is funny.
He's
I
funny.
think it's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't judge a book by its cover. Okay, he's probably a good guy.
He fights with Claude a lot,
Oh.
but it comes out like rather funny because they have really opposing styles of leadership, so they fight a lot. Because Lawrence is raised to take his position really seriously, so whenever he sees Claude like slacking, he's like, ah!
Yeah, the dynamic is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's funny because in a support they have, Lawrence tries to like get him in like a gotcha moment. He's like, oh, but you can't do this because the political affairs are blah blah blah. And he's like, then what would you do then, Claude? And Claude fires back with like an actual strategy. Claude's like, oh, we should do this because this country is blah 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 blah. And Lawrence is like, oh. Lawrence is like, oh wait, he knows stuff.
Would you say that they're kind of like rivalry?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Claude doesn't
yeah.
really consider him a rival, but Lawrence considers Claude a rival.
Oh, it's like
Lawrence is
one-sided.
Yeah, because Lawrence is like, oh, this guy's leading us, but he's so lazy. But Claude is like, haha, Lawrence, you're so funny. But Claude knows that Lawrence is like really capable too. So yeah, very much that.
I see.
So this is another thing where after the fight's like, now in Elmira, it's traditional to throw a grand feast after a battle. We eat, sing, and dance till we can't move anymore. And Raphael, who's like one of the himbos, he's like, wow, Claude has the same tradition. And he's like, wait, what that means?
I figured it out!
Hey, Raphael, shut up, Raphael! Oh my
And then
gosh!
Shez, who also knows, is like,
I don't know what you're talking about, Raphael. That's crazy. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, anyways, it was so funny though, because like nobody like listened to it. Like Raphael said that and like nobody responded. They just like ignored him.
Anyways, it's Raphael.
Yeah, nobody's taking him seriously because he's a bimbo.
Raphael's like, oh my god. Yeah, Raphael's like, oh my god, Claude always throws these parties. It's so awesome. And then he has like a moment of clarity. He's like, wait.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
It's like an ongoing joke. And only Raphael, Shez, and then the other himbo, Balthus, who's added later on, knows also. But nobody else knows for some reason.
So funny.
Yeah. And then, this is when he leaves the party. So, Arvel, who's a character that's like kind of tied to Shez, is like, why isn't the man of the hour partaking in the festivities? And then they go to find him. And he's like alone so he can be depressed by himself. And he doesn't want anyone to see.
Stop!
Yeah, Shez is like, oh, did you drink too much? He's like, yeah, maybe. And then Arvel's like, wow, I wonder what's really running around in that mind of his. He never revealed his dealings with like all these people and that he also befriended an Almiran general and stuff like that. And Shez is like, oh, it feels like he's got this wall around him. It's hard to say we're ever really gonna understand each other. And Claude really plays it off as like, oh, yeah, I'm just thinking. Like, he doesn't really open up. But you can tell he's really sad. It's like,
Oh my god. That's so sad. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, further intro.
Oh.
Let me sip my coffee.
Yeah, oh my god, holy cow.
You Vietnamese? You Viet coffee? Is it Viet coffee?
Yeah, I'm shaking.
We're shaking!
Quick question, what's Viet coffee? Like, is it like extra like cray-cray?
It's very dense.
So imagine espresso with the condensed milk.
Yes.
Oh.
Basically.
Okay.
So
Very
even though even though it's kind of strong, it's also very sweet. So it mellows out the flavor a little bit.
Okay.
And I didn't eat breakfast, so I just went straight for it.
Oh, your tummy is probably going to split. Aki, no!
It's okay. Okay,
Oh my
the
God.
presentation shall continue.
Oh, sorry, I have a quick question.
Yes,
So, I know we had discussed that Claude's parents married out of love and etc. But where are they?
They never appear.
Like, he's going through so
They're
much
in
hardship.
Elmira.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but
never show up.
they like show for him or just like for the game itself? Like, does he know they're
For
around?
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can assume that they're in good relations. But once again, the game doesn't really show anything.
Oh.
So it's all just assumption.
Oh, it's kind of like an Ash Ketchum situation where his like dad is like mentioned all
Yeah,
the time,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, cool dad," but I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah. Of course, like, my parents are awesome. And then you're like, but where are they?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But they did not introduce his lore a lot, so a lot of his stuff is just missing.
Gotcha.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, further intro. Like I said, he is half East Fodlan, half Almiran. And Fodlan's the setting for the story. And the main influence of Fodlan is the church. In fun fact, Fodla is an Irish goddess. And it's very closed off from other countries. It's like part of their belief. They're like, we're not gonna talk to these other people. So they're really closed off. And Elmira is possibly named after Palmyra, ancient city in Syria. It's east of Fodlan and borders the Leicester Alliance. There's prairies, deserts, mountains, pine forests. They're known for their horsemanship. They like battling. They're elite warriors. They have wyverns and bows. They're like a warrior culture. And the emblem they have is based on a Zoroastrian relic found in Iran in our Achaemenid period of Persia. Yeah, that's like all you really know about Elmira, basically. It's like they like fighting. Yes. And Golden Deer is the house he belongs to. And deer have a big significance in Islam. In Turkic people that converted to Islam brought deer parts. So it's just a little connection.
Oh, I love this. Holy cow.
That art, it's him as a kid.
No! Why would you add this? Fudge!
Look at him holding his little knife. So, like I said, he is biracial. So he was discriminated and mistreated by Almirans he grew up with. And he was raised in kind of like a limbo of like both worlds. Which is why he knows about Fodlan culture also. Yeah, he's hated for simply existing and people treated him horribly. And he realized at a young age that like yelling and fighting back and like trying to prove yourself wouldn't do anything to change that. And so he's like, okay, I have to think of some other way to like move up, right? So like he runs away from home when he's old enough. He runs away to Fodlan and he's like, wow, people still hate me. So he's like, I don't belong anywhere, I think. Yeah, he's like, I'm never wanted. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take all the experiences I faced and try to build a better world for other kids like me growing up. So his goal is to destroy the boundaries between worlds and free people of prejudice and constraints. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so he wants to change the world for the better. And some of the critique that people had with him were like, if he went through so much, then like why is he such a like laid back guy, or like why is he so overconfident? And it's more of a discussion of like people deal with trauma or tragedy in different ways. So for him, he uses it as fuel, as to work harder and stuff like that. But yeah, some people misunderstand and they're like, oh, then that means his backstory doesn't really affect him much. Like, no, he just deals with it differently, right? Yeah. So he understands that like actions that were done to him are born from ignorance on both sides. And because people in Elmira were like, Fodlan people are cowards.
Yeah.
And he's like, my mom isn't though. My mom's like this demon warrior queen. she's crazy. So he's like, well, my mom's proof that she's not a coward because she like ran off all on her own to like be with someone she loved, blah blah blah. He's like, I realize that just talking doesn't change anything, and I need to destroy the prejudices that have taken root. I thought I might be able to find a new perspective that could help me change things. And then this is the whole dialogue he has where he says he left to Fulton because he's like, maybe I need a new perspective. But then he says, what did I find? The people here view anyone who's an outsider as a beast of sorts. I was shocked. Even though our cultures and beliefs are completely different, our two lands have that much in common. That's when I realized the only way to change things is to bring the whole world together and start anew. That's the dream I've been working towards since I first entered the Officers Academy 5 years ago, to unify the Alliance and then all of Fulton and to bring a new set of values to this new land of mine. After that, I'd expand that vision to the rest of the world. I had to break down the walls and let a new perspective come rushing in and start all over. Yeah! So that's his little monologue. Yeah!
Claude! How do I join him? How do I join him in his alliance? I had to help!
He gets Fire Emblem. 3 else's.
Meeta's like, let me into your army!
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Claude!
He has like a lot of cool little monologues, so you're like, whoa.
Oh my god, his character's so deep. Oh my god.
I love
my
him.
heart. Oh, my blood
It's
pressure.
very like, my blood pressure!
Oh my gosh.
He's very like laid back, but then he'll like out of nowhere hit you with like a monologue, and you're like, whoa.
Right, like, whoa,
Damn.
wait. Wow,
Yeah, it reminds me of like the recent anime Free Ren. And the guy in the show Himmel like randomly starts
Himmel.
pep talking or like breaks into monologues, and you're like, whoa.
Right.
You're like, wow. Yeah, very much that. So, as he said, foreigners are viewed as beasts, and it's shown in the church's mistreatment of the Dew, who is in Blue Lions. The Dew is also an outsider, and there's a lot of prejudice against his people because they're like, oh, you guys are like savages. And the Dew kind of has to put up with all of that. So it's shown in the mistreatment of the Dew. Petra is also from another country, and Cyril, and they're all treated differently. So you're like, man.
Yeah.
And supports of Claude also contain people's views on Almirans. So nobody in his house knows that he's Almiran, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of
Surprisingly,
stupid.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So he'll have supports with them, and they'll be like, "Ah, those Almirans, they're monsters." And Claude is like, "Oh."
Yeah, he has to like, stand there and be like, okay, alright.
He's just standing there, like the standing emoji. He's like, "Oh." You're like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah. All they care about is fighting people. Blah blah blah. My brother said that they were blah blah blah, and my brother fought them, and blah blah blah." And Claude's like, interesting."
Oh my gosh, I feel like there had to be a breaking point for me where I'd be like, well, actually.
Yeah, Claude's like, actually, I'm from Elmira. No, but he's like, wow, interesting. And they're like, yeah. They're like, I can't believe these people exist.
That's crazy. Wow. No.
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Claude is like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So they like just talk to him about Elmira, and he's like, uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Very much that. And he is a non-believer, which goes very hard against the land of Fulton because they're rooted in the church. He's like, I am a faithless man, self-proclaimed. And some of his quotes are like, whose grace do you suppose humans live by? The goddess? The nobility? I'd say it's neither. It's the endless bounty of this magnificent land that gives us life. So he's very appreciative of nature. And I think it's because of where he's from. Because in Almira and Dagda and Bridget, which is what some of the other characters are from, they're really appreciative of nature. They're like, nature gives to us and we give back, kind of thing. And they don't follow the same belief system, which is why he's like, wow, there's so many belief systems, you know? And yeah, so he says, so he doesn't really like Rhea, who's like the church center figure. He's like, you know what, she gives spiritual support. He's very much like, hey, if believing in a certain belief system gives you strength and helps you to keep going, then that's wonderful, right? Like, I support people who, like, find it in themselves to, like, believe in a higher power that gives them strength and makes them happier. Like, I'm all for that. He's just not for people being like, you can't believe anything else, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, you know what? If people like Rhea, that's fine because she gives them support, like spiritually and also in life. But I wouldn't go as far as to say she's wholly like unnecessary. But in Elmira, Dacta, and Bridget, and plenty of other places, they don't believe in the goddess. Nature is a blessing that knows nothing of the borders. The goddess is the goddess, and the earth is the earth, and they should both be revered for what they are. That's his like stance on things. Yeah. He's like, I love that for you. Someone's like, oh, the church. He's like, yeah, I love that for you.
That's so funny. I love him. Oh my gosh.
And Lawrence mentions that Claude's desire for open borders and free trade directly contradicts the Seros tenets. So it goes against the church because Lawrence is like, how are you gonna have open borders and like free trade amongst everyone if we're not allowed to, you know? And Claude's like, you see, Lawrence, that's the problem. But yeah, the church has acted to chain Fodlin in order to prevent it from like meeting and making peace with foreign nations on equal terms. So because of that state of affairs, it ensures that people like Claude cannot rise to power or like influence Fodlin. Because he's very outside of that, right?
Right.
So it makes it clear why Claude is like, oh, I guess I had to take drastic measures and stuff like that. He was discovered to be the to be the heir. But they don't really explain how that process went. And she was like, oh, he just showed up out of nowhere. It's like, okay, I guess. So he became the heir for influence and power. And then he joined the Officers Academy to find power and allies. And then he's like, I'm gonna steal this magical sword because this place is a mess. And I need more influence. And this sword will give me influence. So he becomes very close to Violet in his route. And then he drops his initial plan because he's like, actually, my plan was too difficult. I'm gonna use Violet instead. Because Violet becomes a really strong like power figure. So he's like, I'm gonna take advantage of this war and instill Violet as a ruler. And he feigns like neutrality. He feigns a lot of his stances so that he can like further extend his influence or have his other plans set in motion. And he's natural allies of Edelgard because they kind of have the same stance. He just doesn't agree with Edelgard's like methods. But he agrees with a lot of her like ideas. But he gets along with Dimitri very well. And sometimes he like randomly flirts with him. Hello?
Oh my!
But then he randomly flirts with like random people sometimes, and you're like, where'd that come from? But yeah,
It's a little bit fruity in it.
he's like, yeah. A lot of it is because he thinks Dimitri has like funny reactions. So he's like, hee, you're a funny guy. But he also feels that Dimitri is hard for him to understand because Dimitri and Claude are very empathetic people. Like they share this side where they care about people the same way. But then there's another side of Dimitri that Claude doesn't understand, which is like this side that's really like bloodthirsty for revenge. And Claude doesn't understand that side, probably because he doesn't know Dimitri further than what we would know if we played the route. So he's like, I can't get a grasp on him because he's this way, but then he's also that way, and I don't understand why. So it's very much that, and he's very determined to see his dream through. Like I said, he's more pragmatic than the other two, so he knows he won't win. He's like, I'm out! He's the most likely to survive out of the other two, who will probably go down fighting. He's like, nope. Because he's like, hey, if I die, then I can't fulfill my dream. Right. So I'm gonna leave.
Honestly,
smart.
real.
Like, I'm out. Yeah.
That's so smart. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Okay, more stuff?
The art is
I
so
know
good.
the art is so
Holy
good. His art is so good.
Oh my gosh.
So he's the embodiment of distrust, and you can see this because none of the people in his house really trust him or connect with him. And they're like, I guess he's just our leader. Like, he doesn't really have an opinion. They don't have opinions on him, really. Except, like, oh, he's our leader. He does okay. He's, like, kind of lazy, though. So, like I said, Byleth notices, like, hey, his smile doesn't reach his eyes, you know? And he's like, I'm just gonna keep to myself. And it's because of how he was raised. And it's very much in the beginning, he doesn't understand that you kind of need to rely on other people to like make a lot of your dreams come true. So he's like, I'm not gonna be vulnerable with anyone! Because if I am, then they have something to use against me. Kind of thing. Yeah. That thought process. So a lot of them don't really know. It's like, hey, he's super ambitious and he's actually willing to use like really drastic situations, sometimes violence if it comes to it. But he's really against that. So it's very like, if he has no other choice kind of thing. But he would still do it if it meant that it would save people he cared about or further his dream, I suppose. So yeah. And he has a compassion that like, if he were to endanger his allies or friends, then he's willing to cast that aside. Like, oh, then I won't do this if it's gonna hurt these people. So it's a lot of like conflicting thoughts that he has. Because on one hand, you have to do really drastic things to kind of fulfill what he wants to. But on the other hand, he's like, I don't want to hurt these people. So it's like, oh, very contradicting. Man. Yeah, but sometimes, it's so funny, he like was talking and he casually mentioned, he's like, it's okay if Rhea died.
Base.
He
Fuck that bitch.
casually mentioned it and then you're like, excuse me? And he's like, never mind.
No, he's so real, Fuck Rhea, dude.
We had to stay unbiased here. I'm only here to talk about Claude.
Oh, so yeah,
And
like,
then,
he withdraws what he said, basically. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, so he like casually mentions it. He's like, I don't know if it's going to be good or not for Rhea to be here. In fact, it's probably better if she would just forever continue being missing. And then everyone's like, what? Like, Violet was like, excuse me? And he's like, oh, never mind. He's like, actually, let's not talk about that right now. Wait, say it again. That was kind of funny. Like, wait, can you say that louder? Hello? But yeah, he was like, someone asked him, I think it's Violet, about Rhea, and he's like, honestly, I've thought about it before, but it's a difficult question, and it's just that we still have so many things we need to ask Rhea, you know, like, there's so much knowledge that only Rhea can answer. So he's like, in that case, yeah, I hope she's alive. But as far as Fulton goes, I do wonder what a world without her would look like.
What are you implying, Claude?
That's so funny.
He mentions it so casually and everyone's like,
Like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, because at this point in the game, Rhea's just missing. And everyone's like, we have to find her! And Claude is like, I don't know. I mean, I guess she's useful, but have you guys ever thought about, I don't know, maybe if she wasn't here? Everyone's like, hello?
I can imagine like being in that room, like the jazz music stops, everybody's like quietly turns to him.
The jazz music stops, because literally everyone there is like, Rhea! And Claude's like, but do we need to find her?
That's so funny. Oh my god.
And I was like, how could you say that?
He's like,
Yeah, he's like, sorry.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was so funny. I'm like, that came out of nowhere.
That was so out of pocket. Well, hello? And it's so funny. Oh my god.
Okay, more about Golden Deer, his house. So, Claude deeply cares for people and values their lives, so he'll make risks and go out of his way to protect them. He places his friends and their safety first. But he'll also do whatever is necessary to achieve his goals. So, the weakness that he is unable to kind of get rid of is his higher empathy and softness compared to the other two, where they can be more headstrong with their like dreams. I have to make this happen. And he's the same way, but he's also like, I can't stop like caring about the people I'm hurting.
Right.
And it makes him sad because if you don't recruit like the students in the other houses, you end up having to fight against them in the war later on. So all of these people are people he went to school with, and even if they don't know him or like they don't really like him, he's like, but I went to school with you. Or, like we studied together, and now we're forced to like fight in this war against each other. It really gets to him, and it's this one weakness that he feels he can't get rid of. And a little bit about the other houses is, so Black Eagles is a mash of various nobles. It's led by Edelgard. She's a princess of a foreign country. Oh no, that's someone else. Petra. So there's like a songstress, and then Edelgard tries to friend all of them basically. So she's like, let's all be friends, and she greatly values like friendship and loyalty. So she tries her best to befriend everyone in her house. And Blue Lions is kind of the most established one. A lot of them have pre-existing relationships through Dimitri. So like Sylvain, Felix, Ingrid, like they grew up with him. A lot of them already know each other. Some exceptions are like Mercedes or Ash, but they still fit with the themes of religion and chivalry. So there's like established kind of bonds between everyone. The Golden Deer itself has very little connections aside from like Raphael and Ignatz. They grew up together, they're like best friends, right? Hilda and Marianne get along really well too, but they're kind of in their own separate little like cliques or groups. They're not really together as a whole collective, and they're not really familiar with each other. Like Lorenz doesn't trust Claude at all because he's like, you're so suspicious. And Hilda and Marianne, even though they're also from these like noble positions, they're pretty separated from like the responsibilities. They're like, yeah, we're kind of like dissociated from it. And Claude is very much like, they know he has so many secrets and he doesn't tell anyone. So they're like, oh, how are we supposed to trust this guy as our leader if he doesn't trust us? Very much that. It's a very classic like group of misfits kind of thing.
Oh, I love it.
And he ends up getting close to Hilda to gain access to her brother because her brother has a really high position. And they actually become pretty close friends. But more so on his route. So I'll explain more later, but they can become really close friends because Hilda also fakes a lot. Like she fakes being weak so that people will do things for her. And she's like, I'm so weak, I can't pick up this box. And then people will do it for her, but then on the battlefield she uses an axe and she is like crazy strong.
I love Hilda. I love Hilda so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think one time Claude joked about like, he's like, Hilda, please just carry me back. Because she's like really strong. But she's like, I can't pick up this box. I wish someone would help me.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Another part of the game is literally everyone in his house can abandon him. So you can recruit students from other houses, right? But usually they're like second in command will always remain. You can't like recruit the second in command. So for Dimitri, it's like Didu. For Edelgard, it's Hubert. Like you can't recruit them because they have like undying loyalty to their leader. But you can recruit everyone in Golden Deer, including Hilda. Even though Hilda's like, yeah, I'm friends with Claude, but it's because they don't have any connection to him, you know. If you don't play his route, so they're like, yeah, sure, I guess I'll join your house. So he can basically, he's the only lord that can be completely left alone. And it's very in character for him. It's like, he never connected with any of them, right? No. So everyone can leave him. They're just like, oh yeah, like, I don't mind leaving him. You're like, oh, that's so sad. It's so depressing.
I'm gonna cry.
It's okay, Claude. I will never leave you.
It's okay,
Baby girl.
I'll never leave.
Please, I'll marry you.
Everyone can leave him, including Hilda. Like, a lot of the fans joke about, like, oh, they're like besties and stuff, but even she could leave. Yeah, so Golden Deer develops their bond with each other and their loyalty and friendship through the experiences they go through. So if you play the route, they start off very disconnected, but over time, the things that they experience bring them closer together. Claude starts to trust them with stuff, and they start to trust Claude too. Eventually, they're like, you know, he's a really capable leader. and he thinks of really smart strategies. Like, we're gonna trust him. It's a whole arc they go through, and in the end, Claude learns that like his trust in all of them is what saves all of them, because he ends up trusting Violet to help him. He trusts the other people, and yeah, it's this part of him where he's like, you know what? Actually, I don't feel comfortable letting Violet duel Nemesis, who's like the big bad person, alone at the end. He's like, I don't feel good. I feel like something's wrong. So he steps in to like back up, and because he stepped in, they end up winning. And he ends up coming up with a strategy that helps them win. So it's very much a journey of trust for him. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
I included a little picture because it's so cute.
Aww.
Oh, little chibi. Oh, cute.
Yeah,
Aw,
she's
he's
like
just a
backs
little
about
guy.
him. It's like Claude is the house leader of the Golden Deer, one of the houses that make up the Officers Academy. And then like he's the heir of Duke Regan and the Western Alliance and stuff. And though he has a knack for strategy, and he's not above deceiving people when the situation calls for it. His cheerful demeanor and his ability to shrug off mistakes with a smile makes it hard for people to resent him.
Oh.
And it's like, but he also seems like a potential troublemaker. He has an unpredictable edge to him, which makes him a very good asset to the team.
Oh my god.
Like a little Claude intro. It's so cute.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Aww.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, the first point, he handles tragedy in a way that we can kind of relate to. He uses this bit as motivation to change the world towards tolerance and acceptance. It's like, I don't want this to happen to other people, and I'm gonna keep my head up. I really like this quote he tells Violet where he's like, oh, at times like this, I like to gaze up at the stars to clear my head. I've been that way since I was a kid. Looking up at the big starry sky makes my dreams feel small,
Aww.
which makes it feel like I can actually make them come true. I didn't believe in gods when I was a kid. Maybe that's why the night sky took their place for me. So he's
Aww.
very much a go stargazing.
That's pretty deep.
My place in the universe.
Ah! Oh, my heart. Ah,
And he's also very like, I'm scheming, and he makes it sound like he's always coming up with some evil plan. But most of his schemes are just covers for finding ways to protect people. So like he treats Lysithea as a child, so he doesn't have to grow up. She doesn't have to grow up fast. And he came up with this plan where he's like, I'm going to poison the other team with a stomach ache. And everyone's like, that's so underhanded, Claude.
Oh,
But he did that because he was like, I don't think we can win, and I don't want my house members to get hurt, so I'd rather have the fight canceled. So that's like his thought process. So a lot of his like little like, I'm gonna do this is actually him being like, oh, I need to cover them. But people don't really know, yeah. And at the end, a lot of people have a problem with this ending. I personally don't. I think it's very in character. But he ends up leaving Fulgrin at the end, even if you like kind of end up with him.
Wait.
It's because he says he has to go back to Elmira. And yes?
I'm sorry. Wait, ends up with him, meaning as.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you can marry him.
What?
Yeah, you can. That's like, wait, that's like one of the aspects of Fire Emblem games. You can marry the characters.
Yeah, in the later games. Oh my gosh.
That's because when you said that, I'm like, huh? Like, go with it.
Yeah. So
Oh my.
yeah, so you can marry him, but even if you guys kind of like get engaged, he's like, hey, I have to go back to Elmira. And it's like this very understanding where he trusts Violet to lead Fulgrin. He's like, I realize that the systematic problems don't just lie in Fulgrin, but they lie in Elmira also. And he learns this through his support conversation with Cyril, who's a war orphan that Rhea took in from Elmira. And I'll talk about the support more later, but Cyril's basically like, oh yeah, I hated living there because I was orphaned, and the like royalty doesn't really care about those that are like less privileged in life kind of thing. And Claude is like, oh wow, this is messed up. So he realizes that he can't just fix Foldland. He has to start at home in Elmira. He has to like fix the system there too. So he trusts you to kind of stay in Foldland, and then he's like, "Oh, we'll go back to Elmira because we can fix this together." And a lot of people didn't like that because they're like, "He ditched us." But I feel like that's really in character of him because at the end of the day, he puts his dream above things. You know, he worked so hard to get there, and it also shows how much trust he has in you. Right. He's like, "I'll leave you in charge of this place. And, like together, we can fix this. And like, don't worry, you know, I'll come back and stuff like that." So yeah, I think it's very in character, but some people don't like it. They're like, "My husband's leaving me."
No, he trusts us. We'll do our part for
I'll
his
wait
dream.
forever for you, Claude.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you. Yeah. Yes.
I'm out of breath. I need water. Oh my gosh. This is so, I love
Drink the water. I'll drink my
Stay
cup.
hydrated.
Oh my gosh.
Stay hydrated.
He trusts us to help him with his dream. He says, "Baby girl, I'll be back. I'll be back for you, baby girl."
He said, "Here's a whole country." Bye.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my heart. Whoa.
His support conversations. I didn't do all of them because it's too much. But I wrote down main things you can learn from his supports. Because once again, they do not dive into his backstory. So you learn a lot of things through what he says to other people. So when he talks to Petra, you find out that he tends to find other ways to do things if he can't do it on his own. For example, Petra's able to like climb trees because back home she's like, "Oh, we all start off learning how to climb a tree." But Claude's like, "I never had to do that, so I don't really know how to." And he thinks of an easier way for him to climb the tree, which is like shooting an arrow up with a rope, and it's like this whole other strategy. So you learn from Petra's support that he'll think of ways to do things like his own way if he feels he can't do it.
I like that.
He very much goes like, instead of direct, it's very like he goes off to the side a little bit, takes a full circle, and like comes back, you know? It's more time consuming, but it's more his style. Yeah, it's so contradictory because he's like, "I'm so weak," but then in battle, he like launches himself. You're like, wow!
I love that.
And yeah, Petra learns that he's a noble who has no fear working hard and getting his hands dirty because she's like, "That's weird. Everyone in Foldland who's like nobility, they don't want to do work and stuff." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's because I believe everyone's equal regardless of social rank. So when it comes down to it, your life is put into the hands of others, you know? In the grand scheme of things, we're all just insignificant mortals, so we have to band together." And Petra's like, "Wow, that's awesome! Also, you're kind of abnormal in Foldland because other people don't do that." And he's like, "I'll take that as a compliment."
Oh my gosh.
That's very cute. Man. And anyways, what was the next one? Annette. So with Annette, we learn about the Almiran ritual he practices that I told earlier. It's like, "Oh, we dance and sing around a fire, and like we scream like beasts, and we jump and roll around." And that's like, "Wow, that's crazy." And Claude's like, "Yeah." He does a ton of research just to understand Annette's song. So Annette makes this like silly little song. But Claude thinks it has a deeper meaning to it because he's always like, "There must be a deeper meaning to everything." So he's like, "What's it about?" And Annette's like, "It's not about anything." But he's like, "No, it's about something." So he like pulls an all-nighter.
He's making up headcanons. He's making up headcanons. No.
He like pulls an all-nighter. He does a ton of research. He's like reading through like Foldland culture. He's like trying to find out what her song's about. And then he goes up to her and he's like, "I know what it's about now." And she's like, "What?" And he goes into his whole monologue. And he's like, "Your song about the creep crawling things. It's about those who die with regret. They're thought to end up in the underworld of sorts. Some are cold and dark, some are creepy. And to escape from their bitter limbo, they dig their way up through the earth, trying to find the surface, or the light in other words. And so they creep about endlessly in the cold dirt of the underworld, clinging to their hopeless desire." And he's like, "Yes, it's indeed very creepy, Annette." And Annette's like, "Wow, that's wonderful, except that's not what it's about at all."
What is bro japping about? What is bro yapping about?
Yeah, and Annette's like, it was just a song about plants, like pushing through the dirt. And Claude's like, "Oh, okay." his own song to show her in return. Because he's like, thanks for sharing that with me. And she's like, I know what your song is about. It's about how you push forward no matter what difficulties you encounter. And then he's like, nope. And then she's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. But we're like, is about you though. Anyway.
Right. Oh my gosh.
he really goes nuh-uh.
Yeah. Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And with Lawrence is like, you're so suspicious. You're always up to something. Because Claude came out of nowhere, seemingly, as like the heir to House Regan. When it was on the brink of collapse, he like showed up and saved it. So Lawrence always tries to test him on politics. Because he's like, you don't care about this alliance. And then Claude like fires back with like actual facts and knowledge. And then Lawrence is like, oh wait, he does know that stuff. Never mind. Yeah, it was very much like a got you moment, but then Claude like genuinely gave answers. And Lawrence is like, oh, never mind. They end up coming to like a friendship of sorts while still maintaining like a rivalry. So it's like, hey, Lawrence is like, I understand that Claude has qualities that I personally lack that make him more fit to lead. So they reach this understanding with each other. It's very nice. And then, so in his support with Ignatz, you don't learn much about him, but you see this side of him where Ignatz is like praying, and Claude is like just standing there staring at him.
Oh my gosh.
And Ignatz is like, why are you just standing there? And Claude's like, oh, aren't you praying? I didn't want to interrupt you. And Ignatz is like, no, I'm not praying. I'm just thinking.
That's so
And Claude's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, and then Claude's like, what are you thinking about? Because he really likes making people, you know, question stuff.
Yeah.
And he encourages people to ponder things. So he's like, what are you thinking about? I'm interested in learning. Ignatz is like, I can't tell you here. Claude's like, oh, okay. So they go off somewhere else. And Ignatz is like, actually, I was pondering about the existence of the goddess. And Claude is like, oh. And Claude's like, interesting. So Claude tries to encourage that curiosity. He's like, why are you pondering it? What about it? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you questioning? But it turns out it's just Ignatz's little headcanon where he's like, I bet the goddess is beautiful. And Claude is like, oh. Claude's like, okay.
Oh.
And then Ignatz is like, yeah, I bet she's beautiful. And then Claude kind of like teases him. He's like, oh, so you want her to be hot? And Ignatz is like, no, that's not what I meant. And Claude is like, then why are you so concerned with how she looks? And it's like this whole back and forth.
Oh my god.
And then, but in the end, Claude's like still very understanding. He's like, you know what, Ignatz, I do hope you get to meet the goddess someday. Ignatz is like, thanks, Claude. But then Claude is like, preferably alone. Ignatz is like, it's not like that. And Claude is like, you wouldn't know how to act around a beautiful goddess, would you? Ignatz is like, no, that's not what it's about. I'm just curious. Yeah, he's like likes teasing people. And then I like that support because it's like he really encourages people to pursue their like lines of thinking, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And he also supports you even if he believes in different. He's like, yeah, I do hope you get to meet her someday. So his support of Lysithia is where he's like, ooh, I heard there's a ghost in the library. And then she's like, stop it! Stop it! I hate you! And Lysithia assumes that Claude doesn't take her seriously because she's a kid. And then he ends up admitting to her, like, actually, it's the opposite of that. You know, I take you really seriously because you're super capable. And the reason why I don't explain things to you as detailed as I do to other people is because I know how capable you are. I know you can catch on to things quickly, which is why I don't go into depth with like my explanations with you. And he's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you're still a little girl, and I don't want you to grow up that fast. And he tells her about how her father was like, I don't want my daughter to feel like she has to be an adult when she's not, just because of her condition, you know? She feels like she's running out of time, so she's like, I have to do all these things. And Claude is like, hey, just remember it's okay to be a kid sometimes, you know? And yeah, they're discussing strategies, right? And he's like, I don't go into detail about like formations and strategy because I know you'll catch on, and that's why I leave you with the most difficult like formations because I trust you. And my Cynthia's like, what? He's like, I didn't know. Yeah, he just doesn't want to push her that hard, and doesn't want her to grow up too fast.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
And in his support of Marianne is very like down on herself. She's very insecure, and she's very like people shouldn't get close to me because I'm cursed, and all I bring is like bad luck to people, and I like ruin people's lives. Like she's really mean to herself, right? And Claude is very not about that, because he's like, you have to push forward. So in their support, he thinks Marianne is hiding things because she doesn't like talking about herself, and she only talks to animals. Like she talks to this horse called Dorte. And Claude is like kind of pokes fun at her for it, but then he also talks to Dorte just to like be polite. He's like, oh, you talked to Dorte, huh? Is he saying anything interesting? And then like kind of like teasing, but then he'll be like, hi Dorte, like when he approaches them.
Oh my god.
But yeah, he learns that Marianne believes she's like cursed and stuff. And it's funny because he kind of predicts that she thinks that way. Because Marianne's like, I can't be around people, and stuff like that. And then Claude is like, I swear to God, if you're saying that because you're like, oh, I'm cursed and I curse other people. And he's like, I swear to God, if it's about that, like, I'm gonna be upset. And Marianne's like, yeah, it is about that, kind of thing. So he's like, oh, you need to change this, like, thought process because I hate watching you, like, act like this to yourself. He thinks to himself when she leaves, he's like, people are born with burdens, she's right about that, but don't you know that you can choose to, like, not have them lay down? Like, you can choose to not carry them, you know? And, he's like, Marianne, do you seriously believe that just because your ancestors did something, so you're cursed, and then you curse other people? And it's very obviously like, of course not, right? But she genuinely believes it. So he realizes that he's being too harsh or direct. So he tries to tone it down in his explanation with her. And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. It's making me uncomfortable. And he's like, okay, then we won't talk about you. Like, why don't you listen to me talk about something? And she's like, okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
So he tells her a story, and it's about him, but he doesn't say that, right? So he's like, okay, so in a faraway place, there was a young boy, and this boy came from a despised lineage where Marianne feels she also came from. And he was like, in short, his mother was a daughter of the enemy, so the young boy was treated horribly by everyone around him. He hadn't done anything wrong, and everyone hated him for simply existing, yelling, fighting back, explaining himself. Nothing he did could change that. So when he was finally old enough, he ran away from home and escaped. And Marianne says, like, well, it sounds to me like the boy had no choice. I would have done the same thing if it had been me. So she's starting to relate to the story, which is what his goal was. He's like, yeah, but the thing is, like, he ran away, but he still found himself in the same situation. You know, people in the outside world hated him. And Marianne's like, that's awful. And Claude's like, yeah, he thought he had no place to go. All he could do was, like, try to fix things, right? If there was no outside or inside and just one side where everyone is on, then people wouldn't have a reason to hate each other, right? And he's like, if he could manage that, he could shrug off that burden. And Marianne's like thinking about the story, and Claude is like, my point is, people are born with burdens to carry. That much is undeniable, but whether they bind us or we cast them aside, that's up to you. So I think you should try to cast yours aside, Marianne. And she's like, I don't know if I can do it. And he's like, it's okay, I'm here for you. We're the same, and I can help you. And then, Marianne's like, the same? We have nothing in common, because she doesn't really know him past, like, the surface level. Right. But Marianne smiles, and then Claude, like, turns to the horse, and he's like, Dorte, did you see that? Your friend smiled at me. He's like, ah! The way he talks to the horse, too. I'm like, oh, even though he's like, that's so silly. Yeah. And then Marian's like, thanks for sharing. I suppose I could try casting aside my burdens, as you say, and we can try it together. He's like, yeah, let's do that. And once we're free of our burdens, we can change the whole world. And it's like, oh,
Man.
Man. So that support is like really, really sweet. It's one of my favorite ones. Also because he talks to a horse. And then, so his support of Hilda, who's like supposed to be his bestie. Hilda's like, Claude, I noticed that you're so nonchalant about your studies, but at the same time, you know so much about politics and history. You're a very hard guy to understand. And Claude's like, whoa. Whoa. And Claude's like, yeah, but you're also fake. And Hilda's like, how dare you?
That's so funny.
Yeah, Claude's like, Hilda's like, fake nose, fake Claude. And Claude's like, indeed. So they like know they're both, like putting up a front kind of thing.
Gosh.
And, yeah, so Hilda's like, you know what? I understand you. And then Claude's like, I understand you too in a way. And that's why they kind of connect. Because they know they put up fronts. And Claude casually drops because Hilda's like talking about Elmira. She's like, Elmira's crazy. And Claude's like, yeah. And they start opening up to each other. And Claude tells her about like his childhood. And we learn out of nowhere that Claude's dad used to tie him to a horse and drag him around.
But why? Why?
Because they're very like warriors. So his dad was
like training, prepping him.
yeah, he's like, we will do fun things like being tied to a horse.
That's
And
crazy.
then, Hilda's like, excuse me? Because Hilda's like this noble woman, right?
Right.
They're from Poland. So she's like, excuse me? Your dad does what? And he's like, oh, it's nothing. And she's
What
like,
do you
no,
mean it's
that's really weird.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
And she's like, I hope your mom wasn't like that. And he's like, oh no, mom was different. She was even worse. She was like a warrior, a demon. And then he was saying how one time his mom got into a fist fight with his instructor, Nadir, because she didn't like the way Nadir was teaching Claude, and she won the fist fight. So then Hilda was like, Jesus Christ!
Holy cow.
Yeah, and we learned those little tidbits about him, which were super fun. And he ends up telling her like more about the place he came from. And Hilda, of course, is like, oh, it's not Elmira, you know. But yeah. So Hilda's the one person that he kind of shares his backstory with the most. And yeah. Now, one of the most important supports for me is his support with Cyril, because Cyril is a war orphan from Elmira. And Rhea took him in. So he has this view where it's like, Rhea's my savior. Like, she rescued me from this war-torn country. I don't have parents. She gave me a place to stay. And he's like, I'll do anything for her. And then he kind of works there as like a janitor. Even though he's like around the same age as like Cynthia. They're both like pretty young. But he's like, I would do anything for Rhea. Like, I'd even die for her. He's like very hardcore. And I'm not gonna talk about Cyril too much because this is about Claude. But I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, because a lot of people hate this kid because they're like, oh, he talks about his Rhea. But in my opinion, what else would he talk about? You know, he's an orphan, and this person saved him, and he's like, she saved my life. And he was like, I would have been dead without her. So he's like, I'm eternally grateful, kind of thing.
Right.
So it makes sense, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know, he's not as like old, immature as the rest of them. And he's like, I had nothing, but this person saved me. So that's my view of it. And but yeah, so Claude tries to find out more about Rhea from Cyril, because Cyril's like, my savior! And Claude's like, Cyril, don't you miss Elmira? And Cyril's like, actually, I don't really, because life wasn't good for me there. You know, nobody cared about me. My parents both died in the war, and then like nobody raised me. I had to raise myself.
Bro.
I grew up on the street, like I had to survive by being smart and stuff. And then Claude is like, wait, I kind of did the same thing. So Claude tries to comfort him. He's like, I'm sorry, Cyril. Like, I didn't realize it was that bad. because even though he's from Elmira, he's royalty, so most likely he didn't see like all the bad parts of Elmira, you know.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I didn't realize it was that bad. And then Cyril says something that like, makes my heart.
Uh-oh.
He's like, if the king of Elmira was like you, maybe things would have been better.
Oh.
Because I'm like, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Oh
He doesn't know. And then that kind of like changes Claude's perspective, right? He's like, I had to start with fixing things at home.
Right. Like kind of the root of the problem, the root.
Yeah, and then Claude makes like this little joke where he's like, well, Cyril, if I ever do meet the future king, I'll give him a stern talking. And then Cyril's like, thanks, Claude. And then later on, Cyril's like, why do you treat me so well? Because he's used to being like, belittle everyone. Because even though he was accepted in, they like use him as like a janitor. Claude is like, why wouldn't I? You're my friend. And Cyril's like, what? Why? Why are we friends? Aren't you a noble? And Claude's like, I don't really care about that, you know. My dream is to change the world, so, you know, those without status are no longer oppressed. And Cyril, you made me realize my perspective is too narrow.
Right.
And Cyril's like, you know what? In that regard, you're not too different from Rhea. And Claude's like, really? And Cyril's like, yeah. And Cyril kind of shares, like, you know, Rhea also wants to change the world and help people, blah, blah, blah. His view is obviously, like, really skewed. But it gives Claude this thing to think over. He's like, gives him things to think about more, a new perspective.
Yeah, that's so nice. I love how Claude always sees things from like all angles, because not everything's like black and white, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Died. And Cyril's like, if only you were the king. I was like,
He doesn't know.
no, he doesn't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those are the main supports that I'm going to talk about. There's more, but, you know, just some stuff.
Right.
Okay,
Oh my
we're
god.
going to talk about Three Hopes for a bit. It's very hard carried by the beloved characters because the writing starts off like, oh my god, more Claude backstory. But then they go back on it, so you're like, okay. It's already like, what if there was no Byleth? So it's like a whole other storyline. And in the beginning, like I talked about, they fight Elmira and then Shahid. That all happens, blah, blah, blah. It's just like story. He ends up making a pact with Edelgard, but there's a lot of contradictions in the writing. Where he makes an alliance with her, but then he doesn't ask for anything in return, even though currently he has the upper hand because he defeated her army. So it's like, he's not very thinking smart, but it's more of like they just wrote it that way. It's like, things don't make sense, kind of thing. So it starts off really like, wow, we get to know more about Elmira and stuff, but then after Shahid, there's no more Elmira. You're like, okay. They just take it back. And a lot of people are like, oh, Claude is mischaracterized in Three Hopes. But the devs themselves are like, oh, in Three Houses, we like really toned him down. So they're like, oh, he's better in Three Hopes. But then you play Three Hopes and you're like, you still toned him down.
Damn.
So yeah, it's a lot of contradicting, backpedaling on like potential backstory they would have revealed. And they write it off as him being like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, anyways. But we do learn more about him. So in Three Hopes, they showcase his like crafty, cunning, like mischievous personality more. He's like playing 4D chess. So he actually does things in this game where you're like, oh my god. So for example, the House Gloucester, which is where Lawrence is from, or Cordelia, which is where Lysithea is from, they kind of defect to the Empire. So they leave Leicester and they join the Empire side in the beginning. And you're like, why would they do that, right? Then they're going to the other side. And he plays it off as like, I understand, it's okay. But then, in the fight, you realize that was all part of his plan for them to defect. And it helps him to get a head start and an advantage on the Empire because the Empire is not expecting it. And he also did it with the thought in mind that, you know, if we do lose, at least those two houses will benefit from it and be safe because they'll be on the Empire side if we lose. So we can still protect those two if this doesn't work out. But he's like, I feel like it'll work out. So they show him taking bigger risks and stuff in 3 hopes, and he trusts in his like strategy and plans and his ability to predict other people. Which is why he's like, if you pretend to join the other side, and then they won't know, and then this will happen, and this will happen, and you learn it like mid-battle, and you're like, what? Yeah. At the end of the day, he still prioritizes people, right? He's like, you know, even if we lose, at least you guys will be safe. So he's a leader that will do anything necessary, even if it's underhanded, to minimize losses and ensure a win at the same time. So it was very underhanded of him to be like, hey, Edelgard, these two are joining you. She's like, great. And then he's like, just kidding. She's like, what? She's like, why would you do that? But that's just how he does things. And there's a very, very controversial fight that happens in the game that people argue about a lot.
Oh.
And it happens after he kills Shahid. So at this point, it's like a turning point.
Right.
So in a fight with the church and one of the members, Catherine, the original mission is to rescue their ally Randolph, who's part of the Empire. Because Randolph is cornered. But then Claude sees it, and he's like, Randolph is most likely going to die. And like, it's going to be really hard to save this guy without losses. So in his mind, he's like, if we save Randolph, we're going to have more losses than if we didn't save Randolph. And it's a very hard decision he makes. He doesn't tell anyone about it. So he's like, okay, we're gonna save him. And everyone goes into like the battle expecting to save Randolph. But then he ultimately decides to use Randolph as bait. And everyone's like, why would he do that? Right? They're like, that's awful. So it's a very controversial battle because his friends also are really against it. They're like, you can't do that. That's awful. Like, you're abandoning this guy to die. And he doesn't listen to him because in his head he's like, we have to do this. If I don't do that, then you guys will die. So it's this point where he has to. It's like the trolley problem, where it's like one person or 3 people. Yeah, so that's something that he ends up having to contemplate. So what ends up happening is Randolph ends up getting betrayed, and he ends up dying. It secures them a victory and the least amount of losses, but his allies and friends are like all like in disagreement and like pure horror. They're like, how could you do that? Kind of thing. And at this point you're like, oh, his morality, it heavily lies in the gray area when it comes to what he believes will save more people in the end. And it's like a really hard choice he had to make, and he knew no one would agree with it. That's why he didn't tell anyone.
Right.
So it's just such an interesting part of the game, and everyone argues that it's out of character for him, but I'm like, that's pretty in character. Like, if you consider everything about him. And he obviously struggles with it a lot later, because he's like, oh my god, everyone hated that. But then he keeps telling himself, he's like, but I did the right thing, because, like, more people survived, right? That should be good. But he still struggles with it, and he goes through this whole thing where if you talk to him, it's like kind of obvious, where he's like, everyone's life depends on me, because I'm the one making the plans, I'm the one making the strategies. If anything fails, it's my fault. It's very bad. So he's like, he like grapples with this a lot after the battle. And this is also after he kills Shahid too. So it's like,
yeah, it's like one thing after the
thought
other.
Process.
Holy
yeah,
cow!
He's
This
like,
poor dog.
he's like, I do have to make sacrifices. It's very bad.
Right.
And if you end up getting the bad ending, Judith ends up being killed because Randolph died. So Randolph's sister was like, how could you? And then she launches like a surprise attack, and Judith ends up dying. So then it's this whole chain of reaction where he's like, I shouldn't have done that. And he's like grappling with things because he's like, I saved more people, but Randolph died. But because Randolph died, I lost Judith. It's like this whole thing that he struggles with.
A lot of guilt, a lot of...
Yeah, a lot of hard choices. But in the good like ending, you end up recruiting Byleth and stuff, and then that doesn't happen. But obviously if it does happen, you're like, damn. That's heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, but he's like, I know I made the right choice. And he's like, and he apologized to everyone. He's like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't tell you guys about it. But then at the same time, he's like, I made the better choice, but it cost me personally more. It's like, yeah. So I really like that part of the game because they really explore his thought process and then his morality when it comes down to dire situations, stuff like that. But that's about all that comes out of it. They don't really dive into a lot of other things. But that's the really like good part of the game where I was like, wow.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
you get to fly around as him, so A+.
There we
10
go.
out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That hit me like whiplash. Holy cow, though. Wow.
Yes. He's crazy.
So
But I like seeing that side of him.
wow, yeah. Oh my god. Water. Oh.
Water.
That's
Hey, water.
crazy. Oh my gosh.
Coffee break.
Oh my god.
Cool Fifi.
Coffee.
This guy.
This guy. Do you have any questions? I think we're at the end now.
Oh, are we? Wait, is this the last slide you're saying?
Oh no, there's a few
Okay,
more.
okay.
Not
Okay, I
much.
want more.
More. Okay, hold on. I'll just get a drink of water. I'll just get a glass of water first
Okay.
Yeah.
before we continue.
Oh my. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
I just yap. I remember one time my friend asked me, she's like, oh, she asked me one question about Claude because she didn't play his route.
Yeah.
And I texted her for like 3 hours.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I was like explaining everything and she's like, whoa.
Wow. Like I can see her brain like expanding like like a galaxy opening like.
All it took was one question. I like set off. I was like,
That's amazing. And the thing is that like for me, like I can like yap about characters, but like I only see them. I don't see them too deeply. Like I think you know, more surface level. And this dream has me thinking like, am I actually seeing the character for who they really are? So I'm gonna, oh my gosh, like later on I'm gonna text you. Do you know about this character? Tell me about them. Because maybe I'm gonna seek something. Because I do tend, like, you know, out of habit to see things like black and white.
All right,
first.
I'm back.
But yeah,
Ikuze.
hi, but yeah,
Yes,
I would
yes.
love to learn more in depth about more people for sure. Holy cow.
Yeah. I just like really love character analysis.
Wow.
And I think it's just cause I don't know, I feel like I always have, but then I also went to art school and you have to like design characters and stuff. So I think about things that go into the design a lot because I had to do it for assignments and I'm like,
Right.
if I give this one strand of hair a slightly different angle.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this.
Yes, yes.
Holy cow.
I love yapping about characters.
Oh my god. Aki, you're the best. Oh my god. My brain is like, it's like, I think I'm like in a daze, like how crazy in depth, like deep he is. Holy cow.
I like I zone out and just start thinking.
Oh my god. It's so good. Wow.
We can talk about Yakuza characters. When
And that is just
Meeta
on-
and I first started talking, I think I brought up Yakuza and you were like, oh my god, I love Yakuza!
Yes.
And DK wasn't there, and then DK came back and there were like 100 messages.
Because we kept going back and forth, like, oh my gosh,
I remember that.
that's
DK was like,
Dude,
"Hello?"
I was gone for a few minutes and I came back to like 100+ messages. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
Aki
what's
and I,
going
oh my
on?
gosh. I love it. Holy cow. We need more Aki analysis. Holy cow.
Oh, Majima.
Oh, Majima,
I'm
yes.
glad.
Oh my gosh. Beloved Maji. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad. I do like just yapping.
Oh my, and I love listening. Holy cow.
Yay!
Oh my god, I'm not really good with words, so like hearing like all this, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if she does like yap about like Maji? I'm so excited. Oh my god.
Hours.
I would be so down. Holy cow.
Yay!
Wow.
But then you have to go through all the games, bro.
Real.
Yeah.
I'm on 7 now. It's
I
so
know.
good.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for you.
Okay, this is my favorite Claude artist.
Gosh. gosh.
Elzing me on Twitter. Look at the
Wait,
art.
that's one
It's so
artist?
Oh my
good.
god, the
cow.
coloring is
Yes.
so good.
Oh, I'm gonna jump around so
And-
you guys can see it. Oh, holy cow.
They have consistently been drawing him for years, and I'm like, thank you.
He's so beautiful.
Thank you for the
I love the
food.
colors.
Holy
It's so
I know,
good.
It's so pretty.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna follow
they
them right
also-
after. Holy-
Yes, all of them. They also show like their drawing process, so like the sketch and then the blocking of colors, and you're like, it's so good. They also draw a lot of Breath of the Wild. It's like Breath of the Wild and Claude.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I'm looking at this one right here where he's like walking away. Who is he walking? Who is it in the back?
In the back?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's him. Oh, so him walking away is him in Three Hopes. And then the two characters in the back is him in Three Houses
Oh.
and Byleth. So that's like the other timeline kind of thing.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Their art is so good.
So beautiful. Holy him right here with the messy hair. Oh my lordy lord.
Meeta.
Wow.
Meeta senpai.
It's so handsome. Oh my
I love the art of him as like a kid because we don't get
so
any like content of him as a kid.
Right.
As opposed to like we know what Dimitri and Adogard looked like as children. But we don't know what he looked like. So a lot of people it's like headcanons, but I really like this design for him as like a kid version.
Right.
And his little wyvern.
So cute! Oh my gosh! That's so cute.
Yeah,
Oh wait, oh
yeah.
god, look at the one in the corner. Chat, move out of the way. Put you guys down here. Look at that! Oh my gosh, look at that! Oh my gosh!
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Oh my gosh!
I like how we're traveling.
I'm like soaking this all up. Holy cow! Holy moly! It's so good. This could be a good. Oh my gosh! Poster I put on my wall. Oh my gosh!
I wish I could buy prints from them. The art is gorgeous.
Do they sell any cloud art, or they just like make the fan art?
I'm not sure. They're like based overseas, so I'm like, I don't know if I can get anything. But they consistently draw him, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Wow. That's
Yes.
so good. Ah!
We're like in an art gallery.
Yeah, I'm like staring at it. Oh, holy cow! Wow.
Art gallery where it's just Claude from Fire Emblem.
Heck yeah! Oh my
Yes.
gosh! Wow. It's so
Yes,
good.
I have one more slide. And then it's over. This one's just more Claude art.
Oh yay! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh, look at him.
That's so cute! Ah, that's
Yes, I also
adorable.
love the way this artist draws him. It's so cute.
Why didn't you include your own Claude art though?
Anyways.
Hey, that's a real question. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Anyways. Deflection.
Oh my gosh, wait, I have a question. How about, wait,
Yes.
what's your favorite design then? Like your personal favorite design?
My favorite
Mm-mm.
is the Three Hopes one and then pre-time skip.
Oh, okay, so the Three Hopes one is which one here out of the chibis again? Is
The
it this
purple
one?
one.
The purple one.
It's the
yeah.
purple one where he doesn't
Yes.
have the sideburns.
Where he has, it's cause he still has his braid. Like,
Ah.
He
I'm
should
so sad
shave
he
his
didn't
sideburns.
keep
They're
it.
ugly.
Chill! Listen, he's handsome no matter what, okay, DK? Shut up!
Sideburns don't fit him. It doesn't fit him.
Okay, it's part of his culture.
It doesn't fit him.
Cancel DK right now, how dare you? Oh, wait, why's my dad calling? What the heck? Oh, audit. Okay, I'll call him back after, it's okay. Wow.
Yes.
Oh
That
my,
is all.
oh my
For
god,
today.
Aki! Oh my god, Aki, this, I think my mind expanded like 15 times, no, maybe 17 times during this stream. Holy cow! I love him so much. I'm so excited. I want to play Fire Emblem. What game would you recommend I start with?
They all
You can-
have separate
you can-
plots. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can,
so
like,
it doesn't
start
really
anywhere.
matter which one you play.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
My
But do you
first
play-
game was Awakening, and then I went backwards, and then I went forwards.
Yeah. Honestly, there a lot of the Fire Emblem games are kind of mid. I ain't gonna lie, but Three Houses is really good. Three Houses is one of the better ones in
And
my
yeah, I
opinion.
liked all the characters because I'm very character heavy. So I'm like, I loved all the characters in there. Awakening was my first one. I will say you can start like anywhere. But the recent game, Engage, it was very heavily like they played on nostalgia a lot, so they brought back a lot of older characters. So for Engage, it's like if you don't know any of the previous characters, then
won't
you're like
really hit.
missing a huge chunk. Yeah.
Right.
But actually, funnily enough, in Engage, because they do like so past characters come back in the form of like spirits inside of these rings. And instead of separating Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude, it stuffed all three of them into one ring. They're like eternally doomed to be together.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. What? Wait,
So it's just, it's
So-
just Dimitri
so you
and
say
Edelgard
ring.
fighting.
Is it kind of like a what's it called? Like a projection, like a shoom, and then like it's all three of them together.
Yeah, it's like the genie and the lamp. They're like, I summon you.
Move over.
And then
Give me space.
they come out, and Claude's like, man, these two just fight all the time.
That's so funny. Oh
My first Fire Emblem game was Fate's Birthright.
Oh, yeah. That one's after Awakening, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was fine, I guess.
Yeah, it was okay. I
It was,
remember.
I mean, I had the strangest obsession with Niles from Fire Emblem.
I remember that. Oh my god.
Wait, I'm gonna send a picture of Niles.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When I
Let me see.
played Awakening for the first time, I remember I would wake up super early just to go to the school library so I could play the game.
Aww.
I was like, I can play before class.
That's so funny. Oh la la. He's handsome. That's a handsome
Yeah,
guy.
he's like one of the characters that you can romance even as like the same gender or something.
Oh yeah, he's one of the only ones. Yes.
Oh.
I remember you being obsessed with him. That's so funny.
I'm not obsessed with him anymore. I don't know what kind of. I had a weird phase. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely in love with Claude. Holy cow. My mind, Claude only. Holy cow.
And like, if you think I'm like very Claude killed right now, I was so much worse when the game came out.
Oh, she was. She was.
In a Discord group together, there was a separate channel for me just to like talk by myself.
Oh, I remember that.
I would like think of something and I'll just start talking in there like by myself. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I will be reading all of those stuff, those stuff that she's rambling about because we're like in the same server. I'm just like, okay. I have no idea what you're talking about, buddy.
Let her go.
But,
Gosh, that's so
Everyone's
cute.
just watching. Like, wow, love that for you.
I love this. Oh my god.
yeah, because I still haven't finished Golden Deer. I still haven't even finished Blue Lion Road because that's the one I started with. But now when you talk about like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, it makes me want to like finish Blue Lion and then go to
I
Golden
know,
Deer.
gives you like a nostalgia factor.
Gotcha. And you guys, so you guys have been saying like going down routes and stuff. So you would pick like right away like what house, which route you would go for, and then if you complete that, then you can like go ahead do
Yeah,
another
pick
route.
another one.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
oh, gotcha.
In the beginning, it's like when you save the three of them. And then you kind of see their dynamic with each other. And you're like, okay. And then when you get to the school and they're like, we want you to teach here. And you get to choose which house you're kind of like teaching mainly for. And they like talk a little bit about the characters. You like kind of get to know them. And you pick which house you want. Yes.
Oh, okay. In the game, if you were just like a regular person, you basically would join the house that you would want to join, not like a Hogwarts the hat decides for you. It's
Yeah,
like-
no.
Yeah, you decide.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you decide pretty early on, right?
Yes. It's like right after you meet them. And then they bring you back.
I mean like as if you're just like a regular person, like not like the main character. Like, oh, you just want to battle.
Oh, that. I'm not sure. I think it's based on where they're from.
Oh, okay.
Because like Raphael and Ignatz grew up together, and they're all part of the Lester Alliance. So like the Lester kids are all put together, and then like Dimitri's group is like they all grew up together, except for like 2 people I think, but they're kind of from the same alliance or like area also. Put them together, and then Edelgard, the Black Eagles is like the Empire. Like all the people there are put together.
Gotcha. And the so when you say that, I'm sorry, I have so many questions. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So when he leaves for like his route, where we take care of what's it called again?
Foldland?
Yes. And then he leaves for what's it called again?
Elmira.
Yes. I'm really bad with the names.
It's okay.
So it just ends there, kind of leaves it on like an empty, like what you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like imagine what happens after. Like, is there
Yeah.
anything that lets us know what happens after, or it's just
There's like epilogues where it shows like characters that you pair together, or like that have the strongest support of each other. So for example, if I pair like Raphael with his childhood friend Ignatz the most, at the end in the epilogue they'll be like, oh, these 2 went on to run like a merchant group together, blah blah blah, and then they Felix and Sylvain have one where it's like they live out the rest of their life together. And it even tells you that like at the end, which makes me really sad. It's like the way they pass and stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, Sylvain and Felix end up passing like really near to each other. And it's like, but yeah, they do tell you like what happens to the characters and stuff. But some of it is open-ended, yeah. It's like, oh, and then she went on to do this, and then nobody ever saw her again. It's
oh
like,
my
what?
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, holy cow.
Yes.
And so I don't really play like strategic games much at all, or ever actually. So this is like a general question. Like, if I were to join the Golden Deers, like not for the game, like as if I was like IRL in there, like isekai. Basically, we choose our weaponry, or it's kind of like we're all archers. Like what's like?
Oh, so each character is like a different class they start off with.
Oh, okay.
You can change classes, or you can kind of go to the next class. So Claude starts off like just an archer. And then he can go to like sniper, or like he gets a horse, and then eventually he goes to Barbarossa where he's on his wyvern. So it's kind of like evolving or like leveling up, or you can switch to another class. But there are certain like classes that are locked out for some characters. So it's like, oh, but they can't do this class, and then the weapon that you use depends on what class you're currently. So Claude is like, well, he'll use archery, right? But like if you're a barbarian, it's like you can use the brass knuckles or like the axe and stuff. And then if you're another class, you can use like swords. So some of them are locked into classes out of personal, just like character backstory. But usually you can change into another class, and that's like a whole other system you go into where my sister in particular was like really hardcore about it, where she would change people into classes, max out their level, get like these special skills, and then change them back. Yeah, like really strong units. I kind of do that, but not as hardcore. So yeah, there's a lot of like things you can do with each character, but that's like the basic thing.
Wow. Holy cow. Wow.
Ole mole.
Ole mole, for real. I'm in shock. Like, holy
And you
cow.
can tell which classes are their main ones if they have a special outfit. So like usually all the classes have like outfits. But for example, Claude is supposed to be Barbarossa, right? It's like the only class he can go to, but if he were to go down that kind of line, it's like a tree, kind of like tree of skills. If he were to go down that branch, he has his own like kind of special outfit. As opposed to if you switched him to like maybe a fighter, he'll have the default like fighter outfit. Yeah.
Interesting. Holy
So you can kind of tell which ones are like their canon classes if they get a special outfit.
Oh.
Yeah.
so cool. Holy cow. Wow. Wow. You know, if I see any Claude cosplayers at anime conventions, you know I'm taking pictures. I'll be like,
Good luck
Oh
with
my
that.
god.
Claude, please! I want a picture with you, please! Claude!
One time,
Good luck with that. I ain't seen Fire Emblem cosplayers in a
know.
long while.
Claude is actually like, yeah, he's the less popular noble. So there's not a lot, but there's this one artist that draws him a lot, and I happened to find them at a convention. And I was like, oh my god! Then I bought like everything Claude related they had. And they're like, whoa, you like Claude a lot. I was like, yes, I do. And then she ended up giving me like a whole like package of like all the Claude stuff she has. I was like, thank you.
Okay. Guys, next stream, I'm going to yap about Kim Dokya from Omniscient Reader.
Kim Dokya.
Let's look forward for that.
It was his birthday.
I'm so ready for another yap session with us. Oh my gosh. Heck yes.
Yay.
Thank you. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Aki. Holy cow. Aki,
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, I'm like, I was so entertained like throughout the whole thing, and like you had me like gripping my seat, like no way. Holy cow. I'm excited to play Fire Emblem, and I'm so happy to learn so in depth about a character like this. Holy cow, that was fun. Wow, thank you so much, Aki.
Thank you for everything, Aki. Yay! Also, take off your glasses. I miss you seeing
Oh, right.
Thanks for letting me talk. Oh, my glasses. I don't know how to take them off.
Let the world see.
What do you mean you don't have to take them off?
I don't know how to take them off in VTube Studio.
Oh,
You press on the star. You press on the star.
What?
and then remove all assets.
Oh.
It's so beautiful. Wow.
Your eyes so bad she can see.
It's like the anime trope where it's like the nerd takes off their glasses and it's just like this Bishonen or Bishoujo.
Yeah, right. You're like,
Oh god. Nerd? Is that you?
I don't even recognize you.
I forgot my expressions. I think there's a heart eyes one. No, not this one.
Oh, that was not the right one.
This one.
Cute! Ah! That's so cute.
I also have one.
Me too. Wait, I need to set up my stream deck. I'm gonna ask one of the girlies to go and call me one day just to set it up again, because I went from laptop to PC and I never
I
fixed
have
it.
one too, and I never set it up. I don't know what to do.
Wait, Meeta Osita, didn't you have like a fucking why do you have something? You had something to cool your laptop with.
Yeah, yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Leora Senpai mentioned like I should get a laptop cooler stand thingy, so I got it.
Oh.
It works great, but like my computer is still gonna handle games. So like I really I was like, once I got a PC, I had to start everything over
I
again.
switched to a PC because my laptop was fine. But then I played Yakuza Kiwami.
Oh yeah, that's
And
heavy.
I had to play it on the lowest setting, and everything looked like some Minecraft, like super blocky.
Oh god, that's so funny.
I was like, I can't do this. And then every time I play Kiwami, like people in chat would be like, the trees look so funny. They're like pixelated. I was like,
Oh my gosh. She's like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll get a PC.
fine, I'll buy a PC.
It's like I found out right away in my first stream with Choo Choo Charles. Like, it was my first time streaming a game ever, you know. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is a gamer laptop. It's fine. I've seen streamers use like gamer laptops. No.
It collapses.
Yeah, it was so bad. My laptop was on fire.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, but yes, I would love more yap sessions. This trio could be like a continuous thing of just yapping. I love
Yapping
it.
trio.
Yap collab.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much again. Wow, thank you everybody
Thank
for coming
you.
out. I'm gonna rewatch this too, though I don't forget anything. I'm gonna rewatch this. Yeah. So I guess make sure you guys, all the socials are down below for DK and for Aki. Make sure you check them out, please. And yeah.
Yes, sir.
I guess it's the end. Bye bye, chat.
Bye bye. Thank you guys. And thank you, Aki.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Dun 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 dun.